Well, good evening, everyone, and this is what it's all about, the Amex Stadium for the final of the Sussex Transport Senior Cup. I'm Dean Kilver, delighted to be joined by Ollie Ordis for this evening. We'll be providing commentary duties and all the pre-match action and post-match reaction to what should be a fantastic occasion here at the Amex between Horsham and Hastings United, two famous Sussex clubs that will battle it out for this famous trophy. How are you feeling about it, Ollie?
Really excited. Of course, the Amex is such a prestigious venue to have this kind of game between two sides in the same league, and I think that can sometimes add a bit of needle to the affair. Of course, these two sides have met each other twice already. Of course, last year we had Worthing and Bognor, and that hadn't been the case. So I think it's going to be a really interesting game, and both sides, I think, are going to go all out for it, considering it's the last game of the season.
Indeed. Before the game today, we caught up with both managers ahead of kick-off. We also caught up with the Horsham assistant manager, John Meaney, who was actually manager of Hastings just a season or so ago. It's sure to be exciting in the build-up to this one. Thank you very much for joining us on YouTube, powered by your instant replay. These two teams, it's 24 years since Hastings United won this trophy. It's 48 years since Horsham once last lifted this famous trophy. We'll have that trophy on view for you very, very shortly. But before then, we'd like to bring you a very famous Sussex historian. Howard Griggs is a man who knows a thing or two about Sussex football. I think that's fair to say, Howard.
That's right. I've probably been to, well, certainly in excess of 25 Sussex Senior Cup finals since first reporting in, I think it was the 1990 final. So I know I worked in Sussex football on the Argus for 30 years, so I know Sussex football pretty well. Indeed,
and there's sort of a lot of famous players, ex-professionals or young professionals that have played in this very competition that have gone on to do big things.
That's right. A lot of young players have gone on to have international careers even. Ben White, who's with Arsenal this season, he played in this final 7 years ago now, as did Robert Sanchez, Chelsea goalkeeper, the same night. But then you've also had people at the end of their careers coming down. Mark Chamberlain, who played for England, he played in this final. And perhaps the famous one is Stefan Jovan, the only man in history to win both the European Cup, which was a forerunner of the Champions League, and the Sussex Senior Cup. He won it with Steaua Bucharest in the 1980s, and he played and won this competition in 1992 with Brighton.
So a lot of history, a lot of cup finals that you've witnessed. Is there any that particularly stick in your mind? Any famous moments that you want to share with us?
Well, probably as a journalist, I remember very much I think it was the last final that, or one of the last finals that Hastings were in, 2000. They actually lost to Brighton Hove Albion. Brighton, it was Brighton reserves, but they put out a very strong team with 11 players first team experience, and they really struggled to beat Hastings. I think it was extra time or penalties. The Brighton first team manager was Mickey Adams, and he came out afterwards, gave an interview to myself, and said most of that team had played their last game for the club, which was the back page headline of the Args the next day, "I don't want you anymore." But he was actually true to his words that 8 of those players never played for the club again. But I think you will find he was probably the angriest cup-winning manager in history in any competition.
Excellent stuff. So Brighton have been synonymous with lifting this trophy, but that was broken last year. Worthing lifting the trophy last year. And is it quite nice that now that other clubs are getting the taste of the final?
Absolutely. I mean, it's been a long time since both these clubs have been in the competition, long time since they've won it, particularly Horsham. I think it's great when you see different teams in the final. I'm really looking forward to this game tonight between Horsham and Hastings.
And just one final thing, prediction, how do you see this one going?
Look, I honestly believe it could go either way, but I'm not going to sit on the fence, and I'm going to predict that Horsham's longer wait for a cup final win will end tonight.
There you go, you heard it here first. And now sitting here to my right, I've got Ryan Gaylor from Team Talk Sussex, a man who's famous in these parts. Is that fair to say? Synonymous with Sussex football?
I've certainly been around Sussex football for a long time. Yeah, I haven't quite got this history knowledge of how they're, but yeah, no, I love this position. I played in the County League, and we always used to look forward to it progressing, and I was fortunate enough to progress to the final in '93.
Well, you've been a little bit more modest than that. Didn't you lift this trophy was playing for Wick?
We did. We're a Wick Football Club. We played at Oakwood, and we won 3-1 at the Goldstone. I can feel for these players. It was a ground I wanted to play at. You know, I watched my heroes there week to week as a young lad, and it's great to walk out on the hallowed turf. Obviously tonight, what a fantastic stadium. for these players to enjoy. So yeah, going to watch this game with interest. But yeah, picked the trophy up in '93. Haven't seen it for 31 years, so looking forward to catching up with it in a minute. And
I've seen you looking round for the trophy. You keep checking around your shoulder. When's it coming down to pitch side?
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, it was a great night. It was a great day, and it's a great memory. And I think as a young player, it's something that I can look back on.
Absolutely, and you've got a connection with a lot of clubs in Sussex. What do Horsham and Hastings United, any significance with either of those clubs?
Horsham, there's 3 or 4 lads actually that I coached district schools football when I did that, so it's good to see them progress, and now they've moved into this level of football, which is a tough level of football, so proud of them. Don't know much about the Hastings side, geographically not my sort of area, but there's a good football to see. I think both managers appreciate technically good footballers, so we're in for a game of football that's going to hopefully be played the right way, and I think a couple of bits of magic might turn the game one way or the other.
And finally, can't leave you without getting a prediction. As you see there on shot, we've got the Sussex Transport, there it is, Senior Cup being presented pitch side. What's your prediction? How do you see this one going?
Yeah, I mean, Horsham have played a lot of games of football, but that can sometimes go in your favour. They've got a bit of momentum, and I think the players know what they're doing. I spoke to John Meany before. He's a great coach, so he's got them well prepared, and I think they might have that edge. James Hammond's good free kick taker. I think it will be small margins. I think Hastings got some good players as well. Attacking team, they'll be getting the ball forward. So I think as the game goes on, the pitch may play its part. Last 10-15 minutes, the game's going to open up, and that's what how the cup works. There could be something to look forward to.
Could be a special night.
It's going to be tight, but I think Horsham, they might just nick it.
There you go. So both Howard and Ryan here are siding with Horsham. Who knows what will happen? We've got 90 minutes or possibly extra time and penalties to find that out, as we found out last season where Worthing beat Bognor in this very competition in the final. It's time now, though, to hand over to our advertising sponsors for the next couple of minutes.
Good, okay. 10 plus Tucky.
Welcome back. We are here live from the Amex Stadium ahead of this fantastic Sussex Transport Senior Cup final between Hastings United and Horsham. But before we get to the final, we need to see how the teams got there. And we're going to start with the first highlights with Hastings United versus Littlehampton Town.
Please show your appreciation to the teams
So that's how Hastings United got themselves here to the Amex Stadium for tonight's Sussex Transport Senior Cup final against Horsham. The team news has just landed. I'm delighted to have Ollie Ordis back with me to pick up some juicy highlights. Let's start with Hastings United. Any players that stand out to you in their starting 11?
Well, I think everyone knows Davide Radare. Of course, he played for Worthing last season, bagged in the goals, and this season as well, 34 goals to his name for the youth. So Davide Radare is certainly one to look out for, but also JJ Walker, a young centre-half, typically can play in that deep-lying midfield role, but he's a young player that's coming through the ranks under their new manager. So that'll be someone looking out that we should all look out for this evening.
Brilliant stuff. And for Horsham, a couple of familiar faces there as well.
Absolutely, of course, Jack Brivio, the captain. He's played in Sussex an awful lot of his career. But then, of course, you've got the young player Lucas Rodriguez, perfect central midfield player, the way that he plays box to box. But Shamir Fenelon as well did used to play here at the Amex, of course, back in the Sami Hyypiä days for the Albion. He used to start on the left-hand side in 2014, and now he finds himself playing in a Horsham side coached by Dom De Paula.
There you go. So we'll give you the full team line very, very shortly. I just need to point out here, we've got the Horsham mascot who's desperate to try and get into shot for this one. Very excited ahead of this one, are you? Yeah, absolutely. The Hornets are buzzing. Let's now see how they progress through to the final when they took on Stending Town in the semi-final.
Match officials.
Edge of the box. Can you try and get an early shot away? Plays it. 1-on-1! Play down the line.
Making it 1-0 to Stenning Town Community after 5 minutes. Number 11, Harry Schumann.
Yeah, we'll never work it out. I want something from the oh, you want a secret scout? Camo! Plays it forward. He can't. 100 points!
Equalising goal for Horsham, making it 1-1. On the 33rd minute, Lucas Santos Rodriguez.
Early ball in. Has the coach got a lot of room here. Gets under control. Crossing. Fenderman! Yeah! Spins his man. He's Fenderman. He's got one hand. Goes back to the edge of the box. Tuck plays it off for Howard. Right, a shot deflects it. It's a block of Fenderman.
Fourth goal of the game in the 56th minute, making it 3-1 to Horsham. Number 9, Shamir Fenelon.
Don't shoot! Oh! You fucking barber! White-footed ball in beside!
Well, a warm welcome back to the Amex for tonight's Sussex Transport Senior Cup final between Hastings United and Horsham. We've now seen how both sides got through to the final. You can see the stands behind me starting to fill up. Some 6,000 fans are due to be in attendance here this evening. It was quite shows the support of both of these clubs in what is a big occasion on the Sussex football calendar, if not the biggest occasion on the Sussex football calendar. Ahead of the game, Ollie Ordis caught up with both managers ahead of this one. Here are the thoughts of the Horsham manager, Dom De Paolo.
Dom, so look around you, obviously a lovely stadium. How is your team going into this game and what's your mindset like?
Yeah, pretty good. I think we've got as much as we can do in terms of availability. We've only got a couple of long-term ones out. Everyone's really looking forward to it, given the sort of the disappointment of last week's playoff. You know, this is a great opportunity for us to do something good tonight. And yeah, I think the boys are really buzzing. It's obviously great stadium to have a final at. I don't think you can ask for much better, really.
Of course, and as you mentioned about last week's disappointment, how do you feel the squad have got over that and going into tonight now?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have. I think we're okay about it. I think on the night, I thought we were a better team. It was just one of those nights we couldn't score, and obviously penalties. You just don't. You can't always capitalise. You know what I mean, on a good performance. But it's just one of those things. But yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a disappointing night, but I can't be too critical. I thought we played well. I thought, I watched the game back afterwards. I thought we played really, really well on the night, and it was just one of those occasions where it didn't happen for us.
And of course, overall the whole season, this is your 19th cup game to be precise. How have you found the cup competitions? Of course, you've enjoyed them, but what's that been like?
It's been amazing. I mean, we've had so many unbelievable moments this season, and especially in the cups, there's been some brilliant moments in the Senior Cup and some great moments, obviously, in the FA Cup and the FA Trophy. So it's just been an incredible run we've had in cup competitions. I think for a step-free side, you can't go much further in competitions at this, the competitions we've entered. So yeah, it's been great, and obviously culminating in what will be an amazing night for us tonight.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck for tonight, Dom. Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Back to the live coverage, courtesy of your instant replay here, the Sussex Transport Senior Cup final between Hastings United and Horsham. We've just heard from the Horsham manager. It's now time to catch up with the Hastings United manager, which Ollie Ordis managed to do ahead of this one. Here's Chris Agutta.
Thanks for your time going into this game. Obviously, the ground around you. How was yourselves and the team feeling before this one?
Just excited, really. Excited about the opportunity. Looking forward to it.
Of course, and your season, you came in October. You were, of course, at Brighton beforehand.
Yeah.
How was that? How's it coming back to Brighton? Do you have any emotions and feelings with the club?
Yeah, no, it's good. It'd be nice to see some old faces. Already coming off the coach, you see a couple of people, which is nice. So reconnect with them, which is good. It's, as I said, it's a nice way to end the season. Obviously, it's been a long season, and ultimately, like from where we were nearer the bottom of the league to where we sort of finished, and obviously finished with a cup final, it's been relative success, so it's been good.
And of course, you haven't played for a couple of weeks. How have those weeks been? Have you been training much? What's it been like with that?
No, we've give the group a bit of time off because we actually had a month off in the season due to postponement, so we ended up finishing the season Saturday, Tuesday, and pretty full on. So we used the first sort of week after the season as an opportunity to have a bit of a breather, as much to give the lads a breather for me, if anything, to be honest. So, and then off the back of that, off that sort of mini break, we then had 2-3 training sessions, which were really good, and just prepped for Horsham like we do every game.
Brilliant. Well, best of luck for tonight. Chris, thanks for your time, and
thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, you've heard now from both managers ahead of the Sussex Transport Senior Cup final between Hastings United and Horsham. The players just going through their final paces ahead of kick-off. The excitement is building. The fans in attendance are expectant. It's time now just to have a few short commercial breaks before we come back with live coverage. Well, here we are. It's ahead of the big one. We're in position. Ollie, how are you feeling?
I'm excited. What a game. Everyone looks to this fixture when you're a fan of football in Sussex, and this year I think it's teed up to be an excellent final against two sides in the pitching in Isthmian Premier Division.
And the team sheet is in. Can you go through the two starting lineups for us? Let's start with Hastings United.
Absolutely. So of course they've got their mainstay goalkeeper Charlie Granger, Jamal Mbanga as well, their top goal scorer Davide Rodari, 33 goals as mentioned earlier. He was playing in this fixture but for Worthing took the step down to Hastings and has loved life on the East Sussex coast. Obviously you've got Sam Adams as well in midfield, John Ufawa, great player, very quick winger as well, attacking minded. Of course Tommy Fagg starting there, number 11, JJ Walker, the youngster, 17 appearances so far since he's come in the side for Hastings this season. Adam Lovett, their captain, Freddie Legg, Geordie Mongoy and Sam Gale completes the 11 coached by Chris Agata. The substitutes are Nikolai Crokin, Ansu Jana, Will Harley, Joe Clifford and Elliot Jenks. Of course they've got Ansu Jana on the bench who may need to come on depending on how the game goes on. The striker on loan from Tonbridge Angels.
And for Horsham today, their starting 11, there's a fair few familiar faces there as well.
Absolutely. Lewis Carey, who knows what it's like to play football in Sussex. Of course, he is signed for Horsham from Lewis last season after his time at the Dripping Pan came to an end. A player that's excellent with the ball at his feet, so that's something Hastings, I'm sure, will be aware of. Lee Harding and Harvey Sparks are the full-backs, and it looks like it'll be two centre-halves of Danny Barker and Jack Strange. Jack Brivio, a Sussex favourite in the football county. James Hammond as well, a brilliant goal scorer, plays on the wing but can play in the centre too. Of course, you've got Lucas Rodriguez, central midfielder, brilliant box-to-box player. So smooth when I've seen him this season as he manages to just wriggle through the lines and cause trouble. Of course, Shamir Fedlin, their number 9, typically plays on the wing, right or left. He's a player that, like I said earlier, knows the Amex Stadium. He played for Brighton here, and now he plays for Horsham. Their main man, Daniel Ajakai, 19 goals this season. He's had an excellent campaign. Rhys Miles Meekums will complete the 11 for Dom De Paula, and substitutes number 12, Isaac Philpott, 14, Bobby Price, Doug Tuck, Charlie Hester-Cook, and their striker, Jack Mazzone, a big player, someone Hastings will have to look out for in the latter stages of the game if he makes way.
Indeed, it's a strong-looking bench should Horsham require any help from the substitutes bench. So we've gone through the two lineups, we've heard from both managers, we've seen how they both progressed in the semi-final. But let's look at the road to the Amex. Let's go through how both of these sides got themselves to the final. And both sides received a bye in the first round. Second round, Hastings United beat Three Bridges by 4 goals to 3. Horsham had a more comfortable 3-0 win away at Midhurst. Hastings needed penalties to get through the third round, a draw with Crawley down. Gatwick a 0-0 draw. It's 5-4 on penalties to Hastings United. For Horsham, it was a 6-0 thrashing of Chichester City. The quarter-finals up next, another comfortable victory for Horsham. It was 5 against Eastbourne United. Eastbourne United's bitter rivals, Eastbourne Borough, faced Hastings United. Again, Hastings United needed penalties, this time 2-1. Don't often find that in a penalty shootout. And of course, we saw the action from the semi-final. Stelling Town lost 4-1 against Horsham, and Littlehampton Town lost by 3 goals to 0 to Hastings United. You can feel it. The stadium is packing up. The fans are there. They're going to be in full voice. We've seen the mascots come out. We've seen the child mascots, and now the teams are making their way out onto the pitch.
Of course, a new winner to be announced in the evening. The next 90 minutes of football, we'll find out who will take this trophy off Worthing. Of course, the last final last year, it was a goalless draw, an entertaining goalless draw, and Worthing won on penalties. It was their young goalkeeper that actually ended up winning it for them. The hero of the evening. Who'll be the hero of the evening tonight between Hastings and Horsham?
Indeed, it's 24 years since Hastings United won this trophy. 48 years since Horsham last lifted this trophy. They've won it 6 times in their history. They are 6th on the all-time list of winners of the Sussex Transport Senior Cup. The leaders mid-2000s. So Horsham out in their traditional home kits. They're sort of gone amber and green, very Aussie-like.
South African and Australian rugby vibes, that's what I'm getting.
Indeed, of Hastings United all in white today. I can think of some famous clubs that have worn all white in their history that have lifted some very famous trophies. The two teams just going through the pre-match ritual, the handshakes, the introduction with the new Sussex County FA chairman. A big afternoon, or big evening I should say, for the referees and assistant referees. Daniel Durso, Simon Pears, Daniel Head. Big achievement for those referees and assistant referees being appointed here for such a big game, for such a big occasion at the Amex.
Some sides in Sussex may not take this competition as seriously, but he can assure people and his fans over there on the left-hand side of the West Stand in front of Hastings that they will be going fully and truly for a win.
It's been such a big season for Horsham, particularly in cup competitions. You think back to that fantastic FA Cup run they had, the 3-3 draw away at Barnsley, and obviously ultimately losing in the replay of their gutting. But as we heard from the manager ahead of kick-off, you can't expect a club at this level to go much further than the exploits that Horsham have achieved this season.
Absolutely, and of course when you touch upon their FA Cup run, the reason why they enjoyed it so much is regardless of the opposition, they managed to get that exposure and put Horsham on the map, if you like. You always get that one club from the lower leagues, like Horsham were, who end up getting to maybe those later stages, the second round, where that third round feels so close, the prospect of having a Premier League club feels so close, but of course they just missed out. Barnsley did of course come to town, and they showed their League One experience against Horsham.
And for Hastings United, it's a season of change, but a season of promise for them. Unexpectedly, they were still in the hunt for a possible playoff position up until the last couple of weeks of the season. Far ahead of where their new manager, Chris Agata, had expected them to be. And of course, they have the potential bonus of lifting silverware as well.
Absolutely, what a job he's done, Chris Agata. Came in, used to be a Brighton Hove Albion academy coach, came in October. They've just lost 7 in a row. He changed things, and he touched upon how if he maybe have coached Hastings since the beginning of the season, that they could have ended up finishing in those playoff spots that they just missed out on.
Indeed, of course, these two teams met each other in the league as well. It was a good home game for Horsham. We touched upon the fact that they lost in the playoffs agonisingly just last Wednesday, wasn't it? That they were eliminated from the playoffs. So both these sides will meet again next season. It's sure to be a strong Isthmian Premier Division next season, as it always is. And with just the final couple of warm-ups ahead of kick-off, a really nice moment for the two mascots of either side as they get to share the centre circle, get their picture taken. It adds to the grandeur, it adds to the occasion.
Absolutely. Those kids there will have been looking forward to this for weeks when the date was penciled in, and now they've got their moment in front of such a colossal stand. It must feel like when you're stood in that centre circle. Even though there's only a fraction of the seats filled out, you can still hear the noise that both sides and their fans are currently singing from the stands.
And it's such support. Look at that. I mean, we've been here, we've covered the Sussex Senior Cup for a few years now, and this is as full as I've seen it. The rumours of around 6,000 fans, which is phenomenal, really, at this level. That many fans coming up to support their teams.
Absolutely. Like I said, I think there's something quite special about both sides being in the same league. It does add that needle to it, and I believe that both these sides are really going to feel those nerves. They know how the other teams play. Of course, Horsham did do the double over Hastings. Can they get their own back, and what a time it would be.
Do you think that's going to have any bearing on tonight's result? I mean, the league games, I mean, Horsham had a fantastic campaign, but surely that goes all out the window on an occasion such as this.
Well, every manager and football player will tell you so. Every fan will want to be going into these games having had the better record, just because it does give you that slight sense of comfort. But I think that's about to go out the window. Both sets of fans applauding their players as they're about to make, or they're about to have, the start of the game.
Indeed, Hastings United players in a huddle. We just saw Rhys Miles-Meekham's, their former Worthing player, going over to get thunderous support from the Horsham fans congregated to the west of the stand. It's going to be Hastings United, I believe, to kick off from right to left as we stand. And, oh no, in fact, it is going to be Horsham that are going to kick off. And I'm just feeling the excitement. What would it mean to you? You know, you're a Brighton supporter. What would it mean to you to be on that pitch right now if you were playing?
It'd be exceptional. I think Sussex are so lucky to have a generous club in Brighton giving their stadium for the Sussex FA to host this kind of game. And it just adds to the magnitude of the game. Of course, every final, even if it was at Culver Road, it would still be a game that both teams would really want to win. But having that opportunity to play in a Premier League ground with your fans there, the stands will feel so big to what they're used to at Horsham and Hastings.
And maybe that's where the experience of playing Barnsley in the FA Cup might well work in Horsham's favour as they look to make a strong start. Appeals for a free kick there. Rhys Miles-Meekham's felt that he had his shirt tugged by his opposite number, Tommy Fagg, and a bit of playing round at the back. Two teams that play good football, and it should be an interesting one. Labanga just up the line as Hastings United look to build something on this near side. You can hear the fans in full voice. The Hastings United fans, they've congregated, the singing group have congregated. I must find out at the half-time whistle what they normally have a name, don't they? The group of singing fans for each club.
Yeah, of course. You'll have to find out what that name is. Usually every fan base has a group with a coined name that they go by.
The Lardy Army, that's the Horsham ones, the Lardy Army. We'll find out what the Hastings United one is. Hastings United comfortable in passing the ball around at the back. Labanga's had a few nice early touches down on this left-hand side. As Hastings United being patient both sides, just testing the water. No, Horsham are just standing off, allowing Hastings United to have the ball at the back here.
Already you can see Dom De Paul has set his side up in a 4-4-2 formation with a flat four midfield, and Shamir Fenlon and Daniel Ajakai leading the line. Sure, that'll change throughout the night, but so far he's got them organised in that setup. Hastings look like they're enjoying the first bit of possession in the Horsham half.
Indeed, there was the first touch in the half. It was Sam Adams in the middle of the park. He's on the ball again now. It's interesting, isn't it, as Lee Harding they've got lined up at right back. He's a striker, famous brother of Pat Harding, who retired this year after amassing somewhat near 500 games in Sussex football for a variety of clubs, his final club being Burdenshill Town, as Hastings United work the ball into the box, and John Afua wins the game's first corner. 2 minutes gone, and Hastings United with their first venture forwards and a chance to put pressure on Lewis Carey and the Horsham goal.
Of course, Lewis Carey, you can just see organising his defenders. Looks like he's got a big goal around him.
It's a posse of 4 white shirts lined up just on the edge of the box as this corner is going to be taken short. Little flick round from Afua. Here's Walker. It's the ball across and cleared away by Lee Harding on the edge of the 6-yard box. And there's Harding once more, claiming the throw-in. Goes Hastings United's way. But a strong start for Hastings United.
Of course, they're on the front foot already. Horsham, well, Hastings have had more time to prepare for this game. Of course, Horsham leading up to their game against Chatham last Wednesday, they'd have been putting their all into that fixture. So they've really had a week to start to obviously allow themselves to come down from that defeat on penalties to Chatham and then build themselves up for this game. But like we're touching upon, having the ground here, the Amex, I'm sure that will factor in to their motivation levels and would have made it slightly easier, I suppose, to get themselves up for a game of this magnitude.
Nice bit of footwork there, and there's space on this near side for Fag. There's Afua just checking onto his right foot, looking for support. Mongoy just losing out in the battle there with Harding. It was a nice little move though over on the right hand side that just opened up the pitch momentarily for Hastings United.
You could just see Harding and Ajakai there doubling up on Ufawa. That might be the only way to stop him this evening if they were to get two players down that same side, double up on their number 10.
We can see that Lubanga wants to come up and join Afua on this right-hand side or near side as we're facing the left-hand side for Hastings United. Lewis Carey heard that call from all the way up here in the stands, called for it and got it. And now the first chance of a bit of possession potentially for Horsham.
Lewis Carey loves these positions, room in front of him, allowing him time to just assess his options. Harding missing out on the ball there to the number 8.
Sam Adams. Of course, Lewis Carey is a man you saw up close and personal many times, commentating for Lewis. What kind of experience and stature does he bring to this team?
Well, his biggest asset, I'd say, although he's a brilliant shot stopper, is his distribution. He can pick out a pass anywhere, he can play it central, he can go down either flank, and that's something that all of the side from Horsham will have to be wary of, and especially when they're on the back foot. Horsham, he's able to just pick out a pass and open up an opportunity, which is such a quality to have from a goalkeeper, as you feel you can really create something out of nothing, which he can.
Strong 50-50 there, and it was the Hastings United man that came off the bed of their skipper, Adam Lovett, and earns a warm round of applause from those Hastings United fans that are congregated, amassing half of that stand on the opposite side to where we are positioned here at the Amex for the Sussex Transport Senior Cup final between Hastings United and Horsham. Thank you very much for joining us here on this YouTube live stream powered by Your Instant Replay. It's a big occasion, the biggest occasion of the football calendar here in Sussex, and one of these two teams is going to lift the trophy for the first time in at least 24 years as James Hammond looks to get involved, and he's a man that can take the game by the scruff of the neck. And here's the potential first opportunity for Horsham, curled round, and there's the first goal in the back of the net. Reece Miles-Beacons celebrates into the corner. It's Horsham who take the lead inside 6 minutes with their first real attack of the game.
Well, we were saying Hastings were on the front foot, but Reece Miles-Beacons, a lovely ball played into him. He did have a couple of white shirts around him, but he found that far corner and got his 3rd goal of the season. Only 3 so far in all competitions, but I'm sure that will be his best.
It seemed so easy. He sort of tiptoed into the area, picked his spot into the far corner, curled it in, and they celebrate down in the corner flag in front of the opposition fans. Miles Meekums with his trademark celebration, maybe an ode to Ollie Pearce, his former teammate at Worthing. But Reece Miles-Meekums has opened the scoring here. It's Hastings United 0, Horsham 1, and it's all down to their number 11, Reece Miles-Meekums.
Well, Hastings were enjoying the ball. We were looking at our left an awful lot, Dean, in the first 5 minutes. But it just felt when they had that opportunity down that left-hand side, when the ball was played in to Miles-Meekums, it felt like they could just create an opportunity out of nothing. And that's what Horsham possess. They possess that ability to be able to just carve open up the opposition when they're on the back foot. And wow, 1-0.
And once again, it was the first real involvement for James Hammond, and he can have such an influence in the middle of the park as we just get to see a replay of that goal. It was from quite an acute angle. Charlie Granger, nothing he could do. His position well at his near post, diving at full stretch. It was just a perfectly placed shot.
Well, there's a lot of fan interaction going on about who can produce the most noise. I'm hearing a lot of it from the Hastings fans, but that roar from the Horsham fans when that goal went in, albeit there's only probably 3,000 fans in this 30,000 seater stadium, that did make one hell of a roar, Dean.
It certainly did. And now Horsham are enjoying themselves, and every player seems to be getting a touch on the ball. Rodriguez clips another ball down the line. It's Meekums again. Can he get the cross in? Not on that occasion. marshalled out of play.
I felt like he could have done better there, if I'm honest. We'll have to look at the replay, but that was a lovely ball played to the byline by Rodriguez.
It was a lovely little clip ball down the over the top, and yeah, Miles Meekums, he's got pace and he's got quality, and he's already shown it by opening the scoring here at the Amex. And here, once again, goes Rodriguez.
He's a tricky little player. It's going to be hard for him to beat the big physical presence of Sam Gale on that far side.
Remember seeing him a fair few times when he was in the Reds of Whitehawk, when he was a youngster. Always a player with quality and promise, and he's looking to show that in the early stages here of the Sussex Transport Senior Cup final, where Horsham lead by an early goal to 0. Rhys Miles Meekums, the man with that goal. And now we'll see how Hastings United responds. Labanga. And Horsham will be happy with Hastings United passing the ball around here. They've set up with a back three, and there's no option, no outlet ahead of them to play the ball forwards, and Horsham just going to stand up and say, yeah, if you want the ball there, you're not going to hurt us.
Absolutely, they're continuing to play with those two blocks of four, but Ajakai has now slipped into that right midfield position with Rodriguez going up in support of Shamir Fenelon. They like to alternate their attacking players. Of course, you've got James Hammond on the ball now, who can sometimes play in that attacking role.
Nice little back heel there from Ajakai, getting the ball to Harding. He just ran himself into trouble and got himself out of it just as quick. And once again, Horsham looking to work the ball over on their left-hand side. It seems to be a tactic there. They are overloading on that side and trusting when the ball comes to their right-hand side that Ajakai and Lee Harding can do the business.
Absolutely, Ajakai's had a brilliant season. When I was at the Dripping Pan recently, of course, Horsham didn't win that game, but Ajakai had so many chances that evening. He gets himself into such good positions, and he's a joy for the players in his side to have. Of course, when you've got the ball-playing abilities from the likes of Rodriguez and James Hammond. Even Shamir Fenelon likes to turn provider on occasions, leading the line this evening. Ajakai is someone they look for in that attack.
Once again, Hastings United looking to play the ball long, but this time it could work in their favour. Izafua knocking the ball through. Mungoy wins the corner. Their second of the evening. And a chance for them once again to put pressure on Lewis Carey's goal, and a chance for them to potentially respond. But they're having to resort to playing the ball long, and that's playing, or has been playing, well into Horsham's hands.
Well, if the second corner goes the way of the first, Horsham will take that every day of the week.
This time it's a deep delivery towards the back post, half cleared away, and there's the shot over the top, and you hear the ironic cheers as Adam Lovett skies one into the south stand here at the Amex.
Ambitious strike there from Lovett, of course, when you're playing at this kind of ground. And it's not something you're particularly used to playing week in, week out. Sometimes those headlines in your head maybe light up your eyes and make you think that an opportunity like that is worth it, but it just wasn't pulled off by Adam Lovett.
We're certainly leaning back as there we see Curry's accuracy of kick as he finds the head of Harding. And there he is once more. And then once more, a third time it breaks his way. Harding looking to go through as he held off there. Referee Daniel Durso just waves Harding up. It was Lovett again involved, this time acting like a barrier to prevent Lee Harding from bustling through.
Well, I think, to be honest, Lee Harding just ran into him, really. Of course, there is obstruction, but the player was standing there and Lee Harding carried on his run, maybe expecting Harding to move, or his opposition, the Hastings player, to move, but instead just ended up falling into him clumsily, and the referee, rightly so, lets the game carry on.
Seems to be a bit more purpose and a bit more zip about these passes now, as Mungo is just trying to get himself involved, just dropping deep to get a foot on the ball. The players want to get a feel for the ball early on, build their confidence.
Of course, that early goal from Horsham will mean Hastings will just be in that awkward position where they're having to try and chase the game. Of course, there's plenty more football to be played in this evening, but
as a loose touch, Hammond comes in, He's got two players up there. It's Fenlon to Ajakai, just behind him. Ajakai keeps going though, wins possession back for Horsham. That was a real opportunity. Pass just played behind the Horsham number 10.
Excellent opportunity. Fenlon doing the unselfish thing and passing it to his teammate. But Ajakai, seen that before, where he could be in such a good position but may just not have the finish, or his body might just be a yard in front of the ball.
It's a loose pass. Ajakai's going to get onto the end of this one. He's got two players in the box. It's a low cross and it's turned behind his own goal. And once again, it's the skipper. They're doing the defending for his side. A couple of sloppy moments and Horsham nearly capitalised.
Well, when Horsham are going forward, they look far more lively and deadly when doing so. Hastings, when they've had the opportunity, of course, they've had two set-piece corners to try and open up their account of the evening. But when Horsham have got bodies forward, they've looked the far more troubling of the two.
It's Harvey Sparks, another former Worthing player, who will take this set-piece, Horsham's first of the day. Just a little momentary pause as I think it's Ajakai down there doing his boots up.
Just lurks outside the area.
Putting a lot of pressure on the goalkeeper, Charlie Granger. It's going to be an in-swinger. It's played short towards Harding. Little back heel back towards Spark and sliding in, making the challenge is Tommy Faggett. Will be another corner, a second in quick succession for Horsham.
Of course, I feel like that would have come from the training ground. They couldn't pull it off. No players going in short this time, so it looks like Sparks will favour the full delivery as opposed to the one just before.
15 minutes gone in the Sussex Transport Senior Cup final. Hastings United 0, Horsham 1. As the corner's whipped in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away. Miles Meekins will chase and keep the attack alive. There's Hammond lurking deep, and we know his quality on the ball as he looks to switch it back towards Harding. Harding nods the ball in. Little layoff there and turned away. It looks a bit of a nasty one.
Good work from Horsham, winning the ball, winning that second ball as well. And it looked like Shamir Fenlon is back to goal. He was unable to find a player around him in Horsham colours. And Hastings, of course, going to win the free kick.
It was that man you were talking about before the game, JJ Walker, youngster to look out for.
Absolutely, of course, making his 18th appearance of the season. Someone that has flourished under Chris Agata, the Hastings manager. He's put his faith in him this evening. Of course, he did mention how Hastings do have a few key players missing, and therefore the youngsters like JJ Walker have found themselves playing more for Hastings, which of course is always good. There's always a silver lining, I suppose, when a player can get injured. It opens up an opportunity for a youngster to creep in, and that's exactly what JJ Walker's season's been like.
Adari there wanting a free kick for a little shove in the back. It didn't go his way. Horsham once again in possession of the ball. Strange. It's got Harding out on the touchline. The ball instead goes infield. There's a lot of pressure there. It's forced back towards Carey, with Adams beginning to put the pressure on.
Calm from Carey there. He almost, of course, it was Brivio in the centre. Danny Barker, in fact, there. Horsham number 4 had 3 yellow white shirts around him. Passed it back to Carey. He could have put a bit of pressure on his number 1, but you could see the calmness in Carey's distribution as he just lofted it out to that left-hand side. Good interception there from Hammond.
Indeed, this reads the game well. He was there to intercept because there was the potential of a 3-on-3 breakaway had that ball got through. It's intended towards Fenlon, didn't quite reach him, and here's Lovett. Nice run made out on this near side. The pass didn't quite match the run. Lee Harding in the right place.
Good work there from Harding, of course. Ufoa likes to attack when they're on the ball, but when they're off the ball, he's playing like a left back down this side. He's allowing Sam Adams to attack that left side instead.
Fenlon does well to hold the ball up. Here goes Rodriguez, charging through on goal. He's got support on the outside. Works it through to Miles Meekins, into the area. Cross through to Ajakai. Is the ball going to break Horsham's way? No, it's not. Really good defending. And now it's Hastings United look to counter.
Another good opportunity created by Miles Meekums for Horsham. Once again, Fenlon and Adjakai in the box.
It's a late challenge. Sure, referee Daniel Durso will just have a word with Tommy Fagg.
Plenty of Horsham fans making their dissatisfaction shown following that challenge.
The ball had definitely long gone. 90 minutes gone here at the Amex for the Sussex Transport Senior Cup final. Live coverage powered by your instant replay here this evening. It's a rare, unusual, inaccurate pass from Lewis Carey. Gives Hastings United a throwing midway inside the Horsham half, but it's Horsham who lead this game by a 1-0. A 6-minute goal from Miles Meekums, the difference between the two sides.
Of course, it's been fairly equal in possession. Like I said earlier, Horsham just look the more threatening of the two when they do get on the ball. Hastings quite slow when it comes to trying to bring defence and turn it into attack. You've got a Fowler who loves to play up and down this left-hand side. Right now he's playing like a left winger. But Hastings just unable to carve anything out of Horsham so far.
Once again, Miles Meekums has got acres of space on the left-hand side. If they could get the ball there, a combination of white shirts just prevented that pass from coming off. But everything seems a little bit rushed when Hastings are in possession. They're just trying to force it. It's not coming as easy when Horsham are in possession. Every pass seems easy, and of course they have the lead, and with that breeds that confidence as Harding takes the ball down really nicely and easily gets away from his man, and as I say, that commentator's curse, stumbles over the ball and gives possession back to Hastings United.
Of course, Hastings just need to, they need to be quite quick. Sometimes it can seem quite rushed, but of course when you're playing on a pitch like this, they won't be, it's not just down to the ground size and the fact that they're in the Premier League, it's also the pitch that they're having to play with. Of course, in their leagues, their respective leagues, Horsham play on a 3G pitch, and the pitches aren't usually as good. So when you're playing on a pitch like this, which is like a carpet, sometimes the ball can travel quicker than you intend it to, and that's when maybe sloppy passes may be seen more than what it would be on a surface that they're typically used to, albeit a worse one.
Strange getting away with a clear two-handed shove in the back of Ridari, who let his emotions known to the referee. That was an interesting pass from Granger, just putting Lovett under a bit of pressure with Fenlon closing in, and that's another dangerous pass with two Horsham players around Sam Adams, but Hastings United trusting now in playing those passes, and maybe that's the risk they need to take.
Absolutely, did put his player under pressure there, Adam Lovett, but he dealt with it well, and they've trying to work something here, Hastings, as they play it out from left to right.
Once again, you see the pressure coming in over on that far side. Harvey Sparks, and now a chance for Hammond to stretch his legs. Here's Rodriguez.
They're winning it back in good positions as well, Horsham. There always seems to be a little trend where they manage to win it back from the Hastings midfield and midway into their own half. That's what
Rodriguez trying to work the angle for a cross, just got caught there, but play continues as Harding happy to go all the way back to Strange, as every outfield player now camps inside the Hastings United half. Horsham leading here by that Reece Miles Meekums goal to 0. We're approaching the midway point of the first half, and so far so good for Horsham, who have possession down on this near side with Lee Harding. It's Rodriguez. He's got space to pick out a pass. It's back to Harding, and Adjakai just made the run in behind. That's a really important interception from Jamal Labanga.
Of course, they've got the pressure on them now, Hastings, but
there's an overload now as Hastings United look to attack on the right-hand side. His leg, but to get the ball across, that's a really good block and really good defending from Reece Miles Meekums, who's not giving up, and eventually he's gone in a bit too hard and given away a free kick in a really promising position.
Bring out some frustration there. Clear free kick from the goal scorer Miles Meekums.
The Horsham fans aren't happy with it, but it was a clear free kick. It was nibbling one too many times, I might say.
An element of bias might be there, but they've got another chance for a set piece. Hastings, of course, have dominated the count of set pieces in this game so far. They've got another chance here to try and open up the scoring for themselves.
Sam Adams, who steps up to deliver this latest Horsham set pieces. Slightly promising position. 10 yards north of the 18-yard box on that far side. They've got 5 white shirts lined up on the edge of the 18. Pretty much everyone apart from Ajikai back on the edge of the box for Horsham. Is going to take a good delivery into the box, and it's whipped towards that far post, headed across the face of goal, and it's away. And Hastings look to keep the pressure on. The offside flag stays down against Radari. Clever little back heel through to Gale. Is he brought down? No, a really good challenge. And the ball up towards Ajikai. Good control from him. Holds off the chances of the banger. And then the lofted ball forward from Hammond, just into space and away from danger. But that was a more promising moment for Hastings United.
Absolutely, as they broke down that right-hand side just before the set piece was played in. Took place. And down that left-hand side as well, the back heel from Radari. But what a challenge from Fenelon. The striker doing his defensive duties, clearing it up, and then of course Hammond just tried feeding it back out to this right-hand side. I think it was fairly ambitious there. The ball came at him at some pace. I think he just tried that clip first-time ball forward. Just had far too much on it and gave it back to the team in white.
Well, that'll be encouraging for their supporters here that are certainly amassed, and the voices are slightly quietened in the last few minutes or so, but they're almost on cue. They start to go into a chorus of songs, and more promising for Chris Agata as well, their manager, who'll be seeing the potential of attack down on that right-hand side.
Absolutely, I think he'll just want his players to...
Rodriguez finds Fenelon, and that's a really good challenge from JJ Walker, I should say, but the attack's still alive. Fenelon gets away from Walker across the face of goal. It comes off the hill, it almost falls for Hammond. And 2 Horsham players getting each other's way, and Mungoy couldn't bring the ball under his spell, and Horsham come again. It's Rees-Miles-Meekums who's come off the worst of that clash with Hammond, and that's a loose pass from Barker. Mungoy, can he keep it in? No, he can't.
Both teams going at it. Brilliant to see. Great football so far. Very exciting. Horsham, that's now 2 opportunities where they could have had a second or a third. Fenelon down that right-hand side, pulling it across, but brilliant defending from Hastings. They managed to close down the space that Horsham had in the Hastings penalty area and clear it away, albeit fairly frantic.
It was good positioning from JJ Walker. Knew where he needed to be, got his foot on the ball, prevented Horsham from getting a clear shot on goal.
There were 2 Horsham players lurking as well, trying to hope for a rebound. Of course, they got it rid before they could have an opportunity.
Once again, another free kick goes Hastings United away. Hastings United's way, much to the dismay of those Horsham fans. Here's Labanga.
Seen a lot of the ball so far, Labanga. Hastings
Walker spreads the ball. Will do well to keep this one in. And those cheers tell you he didn't. But it's a good ball from Walker, just a little bit over hit, and Freddie Legg didn't quite have the legs to keep that one in.
Brilliant ball by Walker. You could say Legg legged it.
We'll stop with the leg puns any time you like, or unless you're stumped for a new one. It's Carey, plays the ball up towards halfway. So much time and space for Rodriguez, out towards Harding. First time ball up the channel, it's Fenelon. Nice from him, gets away from 2 Hastings United players. Switch of play. Harvey Sparks has got time to cushion the ball down. Feed Rees-Miles-Meekums. Those 2 play together for Worthing. They know each other well. They've integrated well into this Dom De Paolo Horsham side.
So far, they are the calmer of the 2 sides on the ball, Horsham. Albeit Hastings have held their own at times when Horsham have got on the ball. They just seem to make something happen.
27 minutes gone here at the Amex for the Sussex Transport Senior Cup final. It's Hastings United 0, Horsham 1. Rees-Miles-Meekums curling one into the far corner after 6 minutes to give the Hornets the lead. Walker forced to go back towards Granger. As the game just enters a bit of a lull. Long ball up towards Radari. Nice little flick from him in towards the path of Mungoy.
I think as well with a game like this as well, first 20 minutes, both players want to give it their all, and maybe sometimes that can then lead to tired legs quite quickly. They may be wanting the half-time break to come sooner than 17 minutes.
That's nice, strong play from Afua. He's looking for support, and he gets it down the touchline. He's carried on his run. It's Adams who gets it back to him. Really good shepherding and defending from Danny Barker. Works that's a clear push in the back, and one of the easiest decisions that Daniel Durso will have to make this evening.
Wins a foul well there. Rodriguez knew what he was doing. It allows Horsham to just play the game at their pace as they play it out the back, slightly just behind Sparks there from Carey.
Hammond finds Miles Meekums, who's got a bit of space to run into, but he checks the ball back to Hammonds. Switched out now for Lee Harding.
Lovely ball there, played from Brivio.
Fenlon just goes down, it's just slips on the turf. No suggestion of a free kick, nor did he appeal for it. That ball had slightly more pace on it, he would have been through on goal. Adams turns into Hammond. Hammond beats 1 and 2 and shifts it on towards Fenlon, gets it out of his feet. Left foot strike is blocked well. Sam Gale, the man doing the defending, and Miles Meekums will let that ball roll out of play for a throw-in.
Good defending from Hastings, but I was just thinking before Fenlon pull that strike off, we haven't really seen Horsham have a go when they've got the bodies forward. They've often preferred the cute pass into the penalty area to try and guarantee a goal.
Harvey Sparks is just down off your picture there. He's finally now back on his feet. He's good to continue, and those Horsham fans in attendance applauding him. And in fact, Harvey Sparks' game is going to be over. It's an early change. This must be an enforced change at this stage. Sparks unable to continue.
Big change for Sparks, but I'm sure deep down Isaac Philpott will be buzzing as it now opens up a chance for him to come on and probably play the remainder of this game. Shame for Harvey Sparks. He'd have been buzzing to play at the Amex, I'm sure. But as one door closes, another door opens, and this gives way for Isaac Philpott to try and make his stamp on this game.
Indeed, no one likes to see an injury in any game, particularly not in a cup final. We'll see whether that injury will disrupt Horsham's momentum. 31 minutes gone. The Amex Stadium, the Sussex Transport Senior Cup final. Hastings United 0, Horsham 1. Harding in possession on this near side. Rodriguez shows a bit too much of it to Afoa, but keeps possession. Not trying to force it.
He plays the game at his pace, Rodriguez, so calm when he's got the ball at his feet.
He's got quick feet as well. Ball lofted up towards Rodriguez and just turns right into trouble, and a free kick was given. I didn't think there was much in that. Labanga just stood his ground.
Well, it was interesting, that one, Dean, because obviously about 10 or so minutes ago we had Lee Harding running forward. It was one of the Hastings players that was in his way, and the referee
there as well, wasn't it?
Labanga, I believe so. But very similar action there, of course.
Rodriguez back up on his feet, and he's walking gingerly, but I'm sure he'll be all right. No need for the magic sponge on this occasion, and a chance for James Hammond to pop the ball forward. Horsham not committing too many players forward for this free kick. Makes me think it's more likely to be played short instead. But what do I know? The ball spread out towards Reece Miles Meekums, who does really well to bring the ball down. He gets into the area on his left foot, lays the ball onto the edge, and now out towards Harding. Harding looking to pick out a man at the back post. They're queuing up there, and it's headed in from close range, and it's Fenelon to make it Hastings United 0, Horsham 2. Brilliant delivery from Lee Harding, nodded back across the face of goal, and Finland had the simple task of nodding in from all of 2 yards, and Horsham are 2 to the good.
The ex-Eagle scoring at the Amex for Horsham. What a moment for him. Brilliant play, Dean. It's a good job maybe you're not the manager, because they may have gone short and that would never have happened.
Brilliant skill from Miles Meekham's, now heavily involved in both goals. That bit of skill on the touchline to bring the ball down and get away from his man. The ball works its way over to this near side. And Lee Harding has crossed towards the back post. Was just waiting to be nodded in. There were 4 amber shirts there, ready to nod the ball in. And now the Lardy Army are having a party. Hastings United 0, Horsham 2. And Fenlon is the man who's got that second goal.
Brilliant ball played in towards that back post. Fenlon there, right place, right time. Poacher's goal, a true number 9's goal. But Miles Meekham's, the skill and play he showed prior to that ball played out to this right-hand side, opened up the opportunity, made the space, and started off the move.
And it looks at this stage that the 48-year wait for this trophy could be over for those Horsham fans this evening.
Horsham fans having a party. Hastings have gone slightly more quiet. Horsham singing a rendition of Amarillo, but that's almost a loose pass.
Carey does well.
Carey
Does really well under pressure. Took a nice touch to get the ball away from his goal and played the ball long. And here goes Afua. Just love it. Hastings United looking for a quick response. The banger. Now Walker.
Of course, Hastings will feel like, well, they do have a big task now, a big task. Horsham have turned up, they're showing their quality, albeit you had Hastings finish 7th and Horsham in only 2 places above them in 5th.
Granger took a real risk there. Ajikai's got pace on him and he almost got into that one. Harding will let it run out of play for a throw-in. Sorry, carry on there, Ollie.
No worries, Dean. But of course, 5 points separated these 2 sides. Horsham, I think their whole season overall has been glamorous. That playoff defeat to Chatham, of course, did dent the emotion.
Fenlon has been held, but play goes on. Ajikai was the intended target. Granger can clear it. Adams to love it. Calmness from him to get himself away from 3 Horsham players. Leg has made a good run on that far side. Instead, the ball's played through the middle. Needed that head from Jack Strange, and Harding just chips the ball down to Rodriguez.
Lovely pass there from Harding. Something with Horsham is they love to play the ball along the floor, and they're happy to go long when needs be. But the way they just pass it around, the variety of passes as well, and they pull them off too, and playing down the flanks. Certainly something that just can tire out the opposition, give them plenty to think about. When you've got a ball-playing goalkeeper like Carey, just adds to that possession-based game, which we're seeing now.
It's Harding. Knocks one up towards Fenlon. It's over his head, headed away by Walker. Fag loses out to Hammonds. Horsham leading by 2-0. Miles Meekham's goes down, a push in the back, referee waves advantage. Fenlon looks to flick the ball round the corner. And Rodriguez tries to make a nuisance of himself, but Hastings United come away with the ball. Good challenge from Harding. Here's Rodriguez. He's got Fenlon inside if he wants to use him, but Rodriguez goes on his own on the outside. Really good defending. That is from Labanga. Adams now with time and space in the middle of the park. Leg up towards Fag.
7 minutes left of this first half. Hastings with a big task ahead of them, but we've seen it in plenty of occasions.
Rodari. He's got options if he wants to use them. He goes alone, goes down, wins a free kick right on the edge, but he needed to play that pass.
And of course, you still feel like, of course, Hastings are still in it. Horsham in a comfortable position.
First yellow card of the evening. And it goes I believe, to Jack Brivio, the Horsham skipper. And this is a real opportunity for Hastings United, but just moments ago you felt Rodari just needed to slip in. And I think it was Tommy Fagg, who was in acres of space just to his right, just needed to poke him in. He was through on goal, 1-on-1. And you fancy your chances. Instead, they'll settle for a free kick from a really promising position.
I think it was Rodari that won it as well, top goal scorer.
It was Rodari, and he's the man who's going to take this free kick. It's a four-man Horsham wall that's lined up on the edge of the area. Referee Daniel Durso just instructing them not to put their hands above their heads. Penalty will be given.
What a moment this is.
Rodari from 25 yards, over the wall and over the bar. It's the closest Hastings United have come.
Tried curling it in with the side of his right foot. He went well over the woodwork, never troubling the goalkeeper. He'll be frustrated with that as he's just unable to keep that effort down. It was, you could see what he was trying to do, just couldn't pull it off.
Ball just not dropping quick enough as we head into the final 5 minutes of this first half that started electrically, courtesy of that Reece Miles-Meekham's goal after just 6 minutes. That set the tone, really. And a wonderfully crafted second goal, eventually nodded in from barely a yard by Fenlon. That's Horsham in complete control of this Sussex Transport Senior Cup final.
Of course, you can see now their formation's changed a little. You've got Fenlon leading the line. Ajakai has now popped up on the left-hand side. Rodriguez looks to be playing like a right winger with a midfield three of Hammond, Brivio and Miles-Meekham's.
Loose there from Tommy Fagg. Just tried to cushion the ball down and just took his eyes off the ball. As into those Horsham fans that are enjoying their night here at the Amex. Their side lead by 2-0.
We've had a couple of good nights. Horsham at some Football League grounds this season, and they'll be looking to add this one to the list. So far, 41 minutes gone. They're doing just that. Brilliant
really
result.
Good play from Legg
At Barnsley, and trying to get another one at Brighton.
Good from Philpott, and Miles-Meekham's up to Ajakai. Didn't quite feed it back to the score of that first goal. Good challenge coming in from Legg. Horsham have to settle for a throw-in. You can see the animation of the coaches down there, still barking instructions. They'll be planning their half-time team talk now, and it's certainly going to be an easier one for Dom De Paulo.
Absolutely, a lot to think about for Charlie Agutta, but of course Dom De Paulo will still be going into that half-time break, trying to keep his players assured and just make sure they don't get ahead of themselves, because they would hate to have the idea, and this will of course fuel them. They hate to have that idea of giving up this comfortable 2-goal lead.
Once again, Harding really strong in the air and getting onto the rebound, and he pokes the ball through. Fenlon on his left foot, good save from the keeper. That's the first time Hastings have played through the middle, and Fenlon got his left shot away. Well saved by Granger.
Brilliant save by Granger. Of course, was just about to say, before going to the half-time break, Hastings will want to make sure that it certainly won't be 3, and Fenlon almost got a brace there.
Horsham come again. Harding, first time ball with his left foot down towards Rodriguez, just bounced awkwardly, and Labanga tries to hold him off, but Rodriguez comes away with the ball, clips it towards the back post, it's overhead of the Fenlon, doesn't quite fall for Miles-Meekham's, but he's first to the rebounds, and he's got the strength, and he's got Hammond if he wants to use him. Instead he goes all the way back, and Horsham look to extend their lead before the interval.
Good improvisation there from Miles-Meekham's, just using his head to nod it down to attain the ball. Rodriguez by the byline, cleverly hanging it into that back post. He's been having a good day against Labanga so far. He's been a tall threat. Has plenty of aerial ability, Jamal Labanga, but Rodriguez has certainly got him on a few times down that right-hand side.
Harding there just pulling up, just holding his right calf as action continues over on the opposite side of the pitch. Miles-Meekham's and Ajakai not quite on the same wavelength. And that's good, strong hold-up play from Mongoy. Wadari works the ball down the channel. And now Hastings United looking to push men forward. They've got 4 up in this attack as they work the ball into the area. It's Fag, gets the cross in, headed away. It's going to fall. It took too long, Sam Adams. The ball just didn't fall kindly to him. And now Horsham makes a break, and that's a clear push off the ball. Referee waves advantage. Ajakai. Just Fenlon for support. As Ajakai looks to go on his own, and then he stumbles on the ball.
Poor from Ajakai, but just before, what a chance for Sam Adams. End-to-end stuff here, Dean, 44 minutes in.
It's a great way to end the half. And I'm sure when we do get a break in play, there'll be a yellow card shown for that foul off the ball on Miles Meekums. But in the meantime, Strange will feed the ball to Harding, who's arguably been one of the most influential players in this first half. He's seen a lot of the ball. He's worked it nicely. He's fed it to Rodriguez. He switched the play to Miles Meekums. He had a hand in that second goal as well.
Darius had a couple of chances now where he's managed to just find one of his colleagues in a dangerous area. Of course, there will be a yellow card now for the captain, Adam Lovett. But in this first half too, James Hammond, he's one of those players that if you don't mention him, he's probably done a good job, albeit he has also got 15 goals to his name. He's certainly been one of the players, may not have got on the score sheet this evening or done any fancy bits of skill. He's certainly been there to just clear it up for Horsham when Hastings have put on the pressure and broke into the Horsham half.
Fenlon nods it on. 3 additional minutes will be added to the opening 45. An opening 45 minutes that sees Horsham lead by 2-0. Miles Meekums after 6 minutes. And after 32 minutes there was Fenlon. As Miles Meekums has pulled away from his man again, and that's where the back 3 of Hastings United isn't working. It's allowing that space in that full-back area, or that traditional full-back area. And Miles Meekums has had plenty of joy over on that left-hand side. It's Philpott. Miles Meekums again looking to run in behind, and he's been found, and he brings the ball down well, and he pokes it through to Ajakai. Just didn't fall kindly for a Horsham number 10 turn behind, and it's going to be a corner to Horsham as we're into the first of 3 additional minutes.
Hastings will be worried here. They really not want to make this go to 3 goals, because of course that just makes the task so much harder. Come back in the second 45 at 2, you're still in it, albeit it's a tough task. Horsham ending this first half just how they'd want to.
Fenlon and Harding have gone towards the near post. Harding's gone short, made the run. It's clipped towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away. There's Rodari with the follow-up. Miles Meekums tries to keep it alive. A chance for Hammond to deliver the ball in once again. Wants a free kick, referee's having none of it. And Hastings United can get the ball clear.
Good work there from their number 11, Tommy Fagg, as he keeps the ball. And Hammond and Miles Meekums onto him in a flash. Managed to get out of trouble there. Prevent any late Horsham pressure.
Love it. Turned well under pressure from Ajakai. Leg to Fag. It's a nice run there, but Hastings United players weren't quite on the same wavelength, and Horsham might well see out this first half for playing a bit of keep ball. Harding rolls the ball down the line. There's no one in a Horsham shirt in the vicinity. Love it. Looks to get away from Fenlon.
Drop for the shoulder there, just keeping Fenlon away from him. Hastings know what they want to do now. They just want to see this half out, get into the half-time break, albeit 2 goals down. Best there to make something of this effort here, but that's cut out by Harding. Ufawa wins it back and tries to burst forward. Good footwork there, but Harding once again occupying the Hastings number 10, as I'm sure the whistle for half-time will be blown any minute from now. And it is.
Right on cue. Half-time here, the Sussex Transport Senior Cup final. It's Hastings United 0, Horsham 2. Reece Miles Meekums with a goal after 6 minutes gave Horsham the perfect start. And then 10 minutes before the break, we got the second goal through Fenlon. The Horsham fans in dreamland. They've had some big nights in cup competitions this season, maybe none bigger than this here at the Amex, where the half-time score is Hastings United 0, Horsham 2.
My back's fucked, my knees are fucked.
Okay, let's look through and talk through the 2 goals. The first goal, after just 6 minutes, Reece Miles Meekham's working his way into the area, curling the ball into the corner, beyond the outstretched dive of Charlie Granger, the perfect start. And then Horsham doubled their leads. Brilliant play initially from Miles Meekham's over on the far side. It was a great delivery from Lee Harding towards the back post, nodded across the face of goal, and there was Fenlon to nod in to give Horsham a 2-goal lead here at the interval of the Sussex Transport Senior Cup final. We're going to have a few short adverts now, but stay with us as we've got plenty of half-time entertainment coming your way. I'll come and join you.
Lewis, joined with Georgia Rooney and Stephen Atkins. How are you both?
Good, having a really good time, enjoying the game. Yeah, it's great.
Absolutely. And Stephen, what have you made of the game so far?
Very, very enjoyable, I think. Horsham are saving it at the moment, I think, 2-0, but I'd like to see Hastings pull one back early doors next half.
Of course, anything can happen. If you wouldn't mind just telling the viewers back at home about yourselves and what you do within the Sussex FA. Georgia, we'll start with you. Oh, almost got hit by a ball there. Thank God it just looped over us. So, Georgia, yes, tell us about your time on the board and your time at the Sussex FA.
Yeah, so I actually kind of became a part of Sussex County FA about 5 years ago when I qualified to be a referee. But just as of the end of last year, I went for a position on the board, and I've been doing that for the past, 5 or 6 months. And so, yeah, getting involved at a much deeper, more strategic level has been great. Really, really interesting.
Brilliant. And you work a lot with the women's in the game. And how do you find women's football within Sussex? Of course, we had the final recently between New Haven and Saltdean. Were you there? And how do you find the women's football in Sussex?
I'm a massive women's football fan, and I think that we're really lucky in Sussex that we've got such an active kind of women's football scene. So yeah, there's so many opportunities, and they only seem to be growing actually for women and girls in the game in Sussex. I think if I was going to work on anything and build on anything, it would be women and girl match officials. So that's a bit of a passion of mine. But yeah, I was at that game, New Haven Saltdean. It was a really, really good match. They're both fantastic teams and represent our county really well in terms of the quality that's out there.
Brilliant, that's extremely positive to hear, so thank you. And Stephen, of course, your role at the Sussex FA, what does that entail?
I am the chair of the Inclusion Advisory Group, which ensures that everybody in Sussex plays football, gets an opportunity to play football, be a part of it, whether that be playing or involved in any way possible.
Brilliant, and I believe it's the Disability Cup final, the Matt Major Cup. That's coming up soon. Are you looking forward to that?
Very much looking forward to that. It'll be the first ever Pan Disability Cup, I think, in the country. And until someone tells me otherwise, I'm going to keep saying that. It's on Sunday, and it's a good legacy as well to a former chair, Matt Major, who was also very involved in disability football, and I can't wait. It's amazing. Yeah, I can't wait.
Brilliant. Well, it's really nice to hear about that, especially about the women's and the match officiating. That's a really good point to bring about and be a pioneer in this game going forward in women's football and football in general. And Stephen, it's great to hear about your job at the Sussex FA as well. So thank you so much for joining me. Just before we let you go, what are your predictions for the second half?
Me, I'm going 3-1 Horsham.
3-1 Horsham,
3-2 Horsham.
3-2 Horsham. Brilliant. Well, thank you for joining me. Thanks for your predictions. That is the end. The Georgia Rooney and Stephen Atkins. Back with Ryan Gaylor. Ryan, what have you made of the game so far?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think Hastings maybe a little bit lethargic at times, a bit slow coming out from the back, but you all credit to Horsham. I think they've come out bright, they've got into them early, closed them down, created some really good chances. They're getting the ball wide. The goals come, Reece Meeker's cut inside, good finish, put them, gave them that little bit of a boost, and I think they've gone on from there, Horsham. Hastings going to have to come out maybe and find a different approach maybe, but there's little signs they're getting in behind the Horsham defence, so we'll see how it pans out. But yeah, 2-0 to Horsham, looking fairly comfortable, but as we all know the old cliche, it's a game of two halves, so let's see what they can do.
Absolutely, and in this league as well, albeit it's not the actual Isthmian League, you can see these topsy-turvy games far more often than you do maybe elsewhere. What do you think Hastings need to come out and do? What would you suggest to Charlie Augusta?
Well, I think they need to get higher up the pitch. I think that's the first thing. I think Horsham are comfortable, and I think if they do get a few balls in behind, maybe in the wide areas, that'll give Horsham something to think about. They'll drop deeper, and then they may get those chances to get back in the game. The next goal is important, and I think they're going to have to start the first 10 minutes with a real impetus to go out and get it. They can't sit back for long. The clock's ticking.
Absolutely. And what would you say the next 45 minutes will show? What is your prediction for the second half?
I'd like to see a goal I'd like to see Hastings get a goal and make a game of it. I think if Horsham get a goal, the game could sort of run away a little bit and sort of calm down. So hopefully there's a real bit of magic left in the cup, as they say, and they can make a comeback. And who knows, make it a nice dramatic end to the game. But yeah, Horsham for me look comfortable at the moment.
Absolutely, and by the sounds of it, the neutrals may be wanting a Hastings goal more than a Horsham one. But Ryan, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Thank you. And that is the end of our interview with Ryan Gaylor. We've got Kieran here, who's a Horsham fan in the Horsham end. You made of the game so far, Kieran?
I think it's been a really good game so far. I've been, a few chances here and there. I think obviously Horsham taking a chance when they could. Hastings, they've had a few chances, but haven't really got anything so far. Bit threatening, and I'd say had more of the ball so far, but Horsham's been more clinical, really, I'd say.
Absolutely, that's what we were saying up at commentary. The fact that Horsham managed to just swarm that Hastings attack when they've managed to get the ball further up the pitch. What do you say Dom DePaola will be saying to his side in that half-time break, currently being 2-0 up?
I think just keep doing what you're doing. Like, again, they're not really threatening too much, so that, don't really need to change much. I mean, they've had the odd chance here and there, but there's not been many times I think, wow, they've really on goal here. So yeah, just keep doing what they're doing, and everything will be all right.
And who have you been impressed by from the Horsham players this evening and all season, if you've been to the Horsham games this season, of course?
Well, I've been to Croydon more than Horsham, I'll be honest. So I've been keeping an eye on Shamir Fairlawn, and obviously he's got a goal tonight, so I've been impressed by him. Number 11, I think, on the wing, he's been doing all right. And so, yeah, I think, the majority of players, no one's really put a foot wrong so far. So, yeah, just been one of them. It's like, all right, no one's really, stood out so far in terms of, from what I've seen. But they've, all been really consistent. No one's really put foot wrong so much. So, but yeah, they've been doing all right.
Brilliant. More of the same. Efficiency at its finest. Kieran, very much joining us.
No, cheers, mate.
Take care up at Horsham for you. Take care. So that is Kieran, everyone, a Horsham fan, taking his views, giving us his views on the first half for Horsham versus Hastings. All good?
You've mugged me off big time.
Hey, no, I haven't.
Teams back out for the second half. It's going to be a big second half for those Hastings United players. Team currently trailing by 2-0 in the Sussex Transport Senior Cup final. I'm Dean Kilford, alongside me, Ollie Aldis. It's been a great first half, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, especially if you're a Horsham fan. We're speaking to some of the Horsham fans at half-time. They really just, of course, want more of the same. Speaking to, of course, Ryan Gaylor, who did pick up on the fact that, of course, it is a game of two halves. If Hastings were to get a goal, of course, then you would see the shapes change. Both game plans would, of course, change. So a goal for Hastings can certainly change everything. But the only team that looked really like scoring in that first half were the side that currently sit 2-0.
And you'd imagine Hastings United be a bit more direct in this second half and not play out from the back as they just tried to do there, as Hammond switches the ball to Reece Miles-Meekham, scorer of that first goal, shifts onto his right foot, tries from the edge of the area. Oh, it's to the outside of the post. What an effort from Miles-Meekham's. Inches away from a third goal for Horsham.
My word, what a view we had of that curling effort, Dean. It looked like it was destined for that side netting, but he was denied by the post. The man of the first half, Miles-Meekham's, almost getting a scintillating brace.
Hastings do work a bit of space on this near side. This leg that will carry the ball over halfway. He's going to take on the first half substitute Philpott, who sticks out a heel and comes away with the ball. Here's Philpott once more. Ajakai ahead of him. Ajakai wants it. He wanted to run in behind, and it's going to fall for him. That's a uncharacteristic error from Walker. And Ajakai, using his pace, strikes it with his left foot, drags it wide. Two great opportunities inside the opening second half minute for Horsham.
You would not expect their top goal scorer to be scuffing that effort one-on-one with the keeper. He had a bit of an angle to work with. Granger did well and made himself as big as possible, but it didn't matter. Ajakai, one thing I've noticed about him today, he's got the energy, but so far his finishing hasn't been there, really. He's got to be putting that away, or at least getting it on target. If Horsham got a third, you would certainly start, or would feel, that Hastings' heads would drop.
So Hastings United survive a couple of early scares in this second half as Harding gets bundled over on that far side from John Afua. The Horsham fans were certainly in jolly mood at half-time. I wonder if any of the Lardy Army got involved in some pies. That's what I want to know. Maybe we'll find out at full time.
Well, that'd be nice. They do some good pies here at the Amex. It has to be said, and if they're on sale, the Lardy Army, I'm sure, will be enjoying those half-time treats.
An awkward one for Granger to deal with, but he watched it carefully and then plays a risky ball straight down the middle to Lovett. Miles-Meekham's now putting the pressure on, but it's just going forward quicker now from Hastings United. It's not worked as of yet, but it might do now as Rodari cushions the ball in towards the path of leg, but no one there, no outlet when the ball goes forward for Hastings United.
It's been fairly isolated, Rodari, their danger man. Scored so many goals this season, hasn't had anything to do really, or made his mark on the game, I should say. Of course, he had that first half free kick that he blazed over. But apart from that, he's barely had a touch.
Just a couple of surf. They heavily watered the pitch before the game, and again at the interval the sprinklers came straight on. It is a slick surface down there, and we might well see a few slips and trips before this game is out as Lovett takes on a man on the edge of his own box before releasing leg. There's no outlet, no option ahead of him.
Horsham have just been very organised. They've switched between a 4-4-2 and a 4-3-3.
Ajakai picks up on the loose pass again. Rodriguez plays the ball into the channel. It's a bit too much to ask of Ajakai to get onto the return ball. And it's well dealt with in the end. The Banga plays the short pass forwards. And maybe Hastings United are going to stick to their principles and continue to play out from the back. That's how it looks so far. Not searching in vain of a goal that would get them back in it just yet. Nice bit of strength in the middle of the park from Tommy Fagg.
Good work there from Harding. He had a brilliant first half, as you mentioned, Dean, one of the more
Harding
influential players.
Having his shirt pulled, that's a free kick, and that should be the second Hastings United player into Daniel Durso's notebook. It's a free kick right on the corner, the 18-yard box, and another chance for James Hammond to use that sweet right foot and deliver another deadly set piece. You mentioned he scored 15 goals this season. The majority of them have been stunning free kicks. And if you catch any of the highlights produced by your instant replay, you'd know that. And here he is, standing over this one.
Bit of an angle to work with, Dean, but if he scored this, you'd surely put that at the top of the pile of his free kick compilation this season.
Indeed, well, there's 7 Horsham shirts to aim for in and around the penalty spot, and it's whipped in towards the near post, tried to be flicked on by Harding. That's an interesting attempt of the clearance as Ajikai's shot's blocked on the edge of the area. And now Hastings United will look to break forward quickly, and they've piled bodies forwards, but the ball goes back.
Being quite patient here, Hastings. Maybe a bit too patient given the circumstance of the game. But they're sticking to their principles, and Charlie Agutta clearly appreciates those principles. They did him well when he came into Hastings when they were low down at the table, staring relegation in the face. He clearly stuck to his game plans week in, week out, which saw them finish all the way up in 7th.
Radari dropped deep and got the ball, and he spread a lovely ball out to Afoa. Afoa into the penalty area, cross towards the back post. Carey gets a really strong palm on it, because waiting at the back post was Geordie Mungoy, and all he'd have had to have done was get his head on it, and Hastings United would have been back in this one.
Brilliant palm away from Carey. Talk all day about his distribution qualities, but he's there showing his instincts with his arms.
And that's what he's there to do, kick the ball out the back of the net. And he certainly did that there as Adams plays the ball in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away, only as far as the banger. Walker lofts it towards the edge of the area. Radari with the flick on. He just lost track of where the ball was momentarily. And Horsham can clear. It's going to come straight back at them. The banger gets the ball out of his feet. He's got Afoa on the outside. Afoa looking to get down towards the byline and get in towards the penalty area. Can he cut the ball back? He can't, because Jack Strange was there, but this is more promising from Hastings United.
Absolutely, he did everything right there, Afoa, apart from that final pass. Made the run, got to the byline, tried to pull it back, but he just ended up passing it straight to a player in Horsham colours. Luckily for him, it came straight off, and now they have a corner.
Adams lofts it towards the back post. Radari was having his shirt pulled there. He managed to get his head on it, but it lofted high, and it was comfortable for Lewis Carey.
The first real attack of the half, nullified in seconds following that corner. And that will just relieve the slight nerves in some of those in the Horsham end.
Afua gets his head to it. Here's Mungoy. Mungoy doing well to hold off the challenge, and that's a strong sliding challenge, and a Barker. It's going to be yellow. I just wanted to check what colour came out the referee's pocket there. But Danny Barker goes in hard, and he'll become the 4th player to be booked here this evening by Daniel Durso.
Took the words out of my mouth, Dean. Very hefty challenge there. Worthy of a yellow card.
And another opportunity for Hastings United to put the ball into the box. They've yet to deliver a ball of quality, but it just takes one, and they could find themselves back in this Sussex Transport Senior Cup final. We're 8 minutes into the second half. Horsham lead by 2-0, but they've got some defending to do here. They've taken a high line on the edge of the 18-yard box, and it's gone short to Afua, looking for a better angle. Or in fact, looking for the pass to Adams, who didn't quite get hold of the ball and cut it back.
Just that final ball so far, Dean, in this second half for Hastings. They've done everything right, apart from the execution of that final pass.
That's 3 or 4 moments now that Hastings have had in the last 3 or 4 minutes, and that will certainly encourage their supporters, it'll encourage their players, And they're starting to find their voice in the terrace once more.
This is exactly what Hastings fans would have wanted, though, going into the second half, just showing a bit more attacking intent.
Legs got space.
Get forward, cause Horsham problems.
He takes on Philpott, and Philpott, since he's come on, that's 3 times he's been run at, and 3 times he's defended expertly. Up towards Ajakai. Ball didn't quite stick to him. Really good defending that is from Sam Gale.
Hefty ball played forward, tough for Ajakai to control.
Flick round the corner from Radari. Mongoy just losing out to Strange. And here goes Miles Meekums, scorer of that first goal. Ajakai makes the run off of his man. Meekums has carried on his run. Miles Meekums round the keeper, and he just lost his footing at the vital moment. Horsham cut through the Hastings United defence like a knife through butter.
Charlie Granger will be the most relieved man in the ground. My word, Miles Meekums looked like he just took it round him, round Granger. The first touch was good. It was just that second touch that just saw the ball. It looked like it even hit his knee. He was so low down to the ground, unable to keep the ball at his feet. If he did, it would be 3-0 Horsham.
Afua takes the ball down well, looking to take on Harding. Little step over. Can he deliver a ball of quality this time? He just tried one trick too many, and Lee Harding wasn't going to be beaten for a second time.
Excellent.
But he is going to give the ball away. And here come Hastings United once more. Adams to Labanga, and Hastings United are certainly making a fight of this now.
Absolutely. Afoa's seen a lot of the ball in this second half, playing like a left winger now, up against Harding, but so far Harding's not really put a foot wrong, and he just added that to his collection of...
It's really good defending from Miles Meekums. Leg did well initially with the awkward bounce, but Miles Meekums read where the ball was going. Just put himself between the man and the ball. Hastings United will have a goal kick. It's a long way for those ball boys to come and collect the balls into those empty stands. Gary fires it through. That's surely a push in the back from Labanga, not for the first time this evening.
Seen that, yeah, like you said, Dean. Seen that on a couple of occasions now, where the players will just barge through the opposition's players' back. Horsham with a free kick, just playing it back to Carey. This first half feels like it's going pretty quickly, almost at the 60-minute mark.
Long ball forward up towards Ajakai. Well watched by Gale. That's a loose pass given straight to Miles Meekums. Here's Fenlon, back to Miles Meekums. He's got support on the outside with Rodriguez. Ajakai busting a gut to it toward the back post. It's Miles Meekums, gets his foot right and doesn't quite get hold of the shot once more.
They've had a bit of luck in this second half, Hastings, when Horsham have got forward. But that was brilliant defending there. Defended in a unit, got bodies back to prevent Miles Meekums from getting a second. He's had plenty of opportunities to get a brace in the second half.
Indeed, and once again Hastings United, the makers potentially of their own downfall, giving possession away. As Walker spreads the ball out towards this near side, his leg. Leg's got Mongoy running up down the channel, and he finds him.
Just shows too much of the ball there, Mongoy. Waiting for the ball to come to his feet, and it just allows Brivio to get it before him and win the ball back for Horsham. To be a bit more alert there. Retrieve the ball quicker.
It's the first real time that I can remember Hastings United getting the ball forward quickly and getting the ball forward into space, as that's a loose pass and Hastings United will have the opportunity to come again. 58 minutes gone here at the Amex Stadium, the Sussex Transport Senior Cup final. Hastings United 0, Horsham 2. Reece Miles Meekums and Shamir Fenlon with the goals. That has the Lardy Army in control.
Horsham on course for their third win in their third game against Hastings this season. Did the double, and now they're doing the ultimate win in this final at the Amex. What an occasion for these Horsham players. They've had plenty of them this season.
Remember, it's 48 years since Horsham last lifted this trophy. That long wait could well be over in the next half an hour.
Dom De Paula said how much he was up for this and wanting to put an end to that long period of time where Horsham haven't won this trophy. Of course, they're en route to do just that. Still 30 minutes of football left to be played. 30 minutes left for Hastings to try and get something out of it, but with passes like that, it's falling into Horsham's hands.
Love it there, just getting his angles all wrong. The ironic cheers of the Horsham fans.
I always wonder, that must surely get into a player's head. Of course, you talk about the mindset, and it's a big thing in any avenue in life, but especially in high pressurised environments like this, where you make a mistake and then it's just worsened by the jeering you get behind you.
Walker getting involved in a bit of afters, and a little bit unnecessary from him. Just dragging Fenlon down to the ground. Looks like it'll be a talking to and no more for the young Hastings United centre-back.
Had a brilliant first half, JJ Walker. The youngster had some good moments.
It's a long conversation. Probably along the lines of, let's just stop that, get on with the game.
Gives the players a bit of a breather.
It's just slowed things down momentarily as Hastings United were looking to try and get themselves a bit of momentum.
It's tough for Hastings because they need to try and get a goal back, but at the same time be cautious of their defensive duties, because you'd think if Horsham were to get a third, that does feel like the game is then wrapped up. So they're in a hard situation, but anything can happen.
Miles Meekham's there, gets the flick on ahead. Freddie Leggs made plenty of those runs in behind in this second half. It's a tactic they seemingly looking to target. First half substitute Philpott down on this Horsham left-hand side. Now they switch the other side, and Lee Harding's there, and he's won plenty of aerial battles this evening.
Brilliant work from Rodriguez as he managed to turn around Sam Adams, and then he forced the foul from Ufawa. Just saw Adams fall to the ground with his trickery. Wins the foul.
Love it.
Ufawa.
Leg gets it through, and Hastings United just waiting for the ball to come their way, and Miles Meekham's is still down on the turf.
Interesting that. Of course, it was, Danny Barker.
It was Danny Barker, sorry.
Danny Barker
just slipped on the turf.
But then, of course, you had Hammond, who then looked to, well, he wanted to carry on the play. He wanted to drive forward, and in doing so, he ran into his colleague, Danny Barker, who found himself on the ground. He still is on the ground. The Hastings players have gone over to their bench to have another team talk from Chris Agutta and co. Horsham trot over to their bench as well.
We saw Doug Tuck there warming up, and former Bogdan man, played in last year's final as well.
He was, of course, there for on the losing side, and it looks like he's a step away from being on the winning side this time for the side from West Sussex. As you can hear, the Horsham fans singing and cheering their team on in the final 25 plus minutes. There they are, making some noise here at the Amex.
I'm seeing the flags being waved as well. It's a big occasion.
Absolutely, with the vibrant yellow colours. It's like a mini yellow wall
Rodriguez. First time ball into the box and Granger plucks it out the air with Ajakai lurking.
Felt like it was going to take some asking for Ajakai to get on the end of that ball. Granger the favourite as he came up high to claim it.
A banger. Right-footed ball down the line. Harding heads it only as far as Adams. Here's Fag. And now Legg. Miles Meekham's back defending. Fag looking for some support and he decides to go on his own. Hammond fell to the turf. But wasn't too much in that one, but Hammond uses his experience to buy a free kick and relieve the pressure on his side.
Quite sloppy there from Freddie Legg. Tried making that little clever run in behind Hammond, but in doing so did enough to allow Hammond to go down and win the foul, and then it just cuts short any opportunity for Hastings, any momentum as well that was built up.
Philpott just playing a suicide ball, and Vidari
giving away the foul as well.
He tried to atone for his error, and Hastings United wanted to get on with the game quickly. Daniel Durso wanted to have a words with the Horsham first half substitute. He's turned his back and went right through Rodari.
Just got Tommy Fag there, the ball underneath his feet. Well, they fancy going long.
So we're back underway. Ball once again worked to this right-hand side. And once again, it's Freddie Legg looking to work the angle for a cross, and Hastings United have got their first corner of the second half.
Of course, it was at the beginning, right at the beginning of the first half, where Hastings had a couple of corners. They looked like they were on the front foot, and then it was Miles Meekham's who went and buried one home moments later.
Don DePaolo in deep discussion with John Meany. They're not happy about something. Tactics to the fore as the corner's whipped in. There's a player gone down in the boxes. It's headed away. Love it on the edge of the area. Fires a shot blocked. And Horsham are struggling to clear. That's a good strong run, and there's a free kick, and this will be another yellow card. It's the third Hastings United player into the referee's notebook.
Plenty of yellows in this game, in this final. And there's another one. Brilliant run forward from Isaac Philpott. Just moments before he gave away a sloppy foul, and now he goes and wins one from Sam Gale. They'll be disappointed as they had that opportunity to put a ball in from this near side. I think one of the Hastings players even fell to the ground. Calls for a foul, obviously nothing given, but that does take a player out of the game, out of that set-piece tactic, which of course is only going to limit them.
And here goes Ajakai. Ajakai to make it 3! And he does! Hastings United 0, Horsham 3. Ajakai sends the Lardy Army into dreamland.
His 20th goal of the season, and one of his most important. Daniel Ajakai has surely sealed the Sussex Transport Challenge Cup for Horsham.
You can see what it means to those Horsham fans watching. They celebrate with their players, and everyone, bar Lewis Carey, went up to congratulate Ajakai, who has made it Hastings United 0, Horsham 3. And with 20 minutes to go, surely it's game over. A simple free kick. Fenlon just got the ball down his feet, did really well, held off the challenge, fed the ball through Ajakai. Just slipped it past the keeper into that far corner. Cool, calm, collected. The opposite of the opportunity he had earlier in that half. This time it was perfect. This time he's made it Hastings United 0, Horsham 3.
Brilliant pass from Fenlon as well. With his left foot, just slotting it to Ajakai perfectly. Brilliant weight of pass. And Ajakai was onto it in a flash, and you felt like you knew he was going to score when he was one-on-one with the keeper. He had the angle to work with, but it was a good angle. A perfect one for him to find that far side netting. And Horsham look like they are going to win this now.
Nice idea Ball slotted through from Lovett, looking for the run of Adams, but Carey read the danger and out of his goal. Quick as you like to smother the ball.
Now got Hammond and Brivio dropping deep.
Fenlon is using his strength as the Hastings United defence are starting to tire. Philpott. Fenlon once more. Miles Meekums makes the run off him. And then Fenlon just lost his footing, misplaced his pass. But since that yellow card, you can see that the Hastings United players are not wanting to go through the back of Fenlon like they were a few moments ago.
Tough now for
Lovett
Hastings.
loses the ball. It's Ajakai once more. He's got the taste for it. Ajakai. And Walker does well to stick a foot out and take the ball off the Horsham number 10.
Stood tall there. Walker not allowing Ajakai a chance to try and get a quick brace. What a sucker punch that would have been.
Yeah, Hastings United need to be careful here as Horsham could run riot if they're to get another. You can see the players have got an extra spring in their step. The Horsham players looking a little bit leggy, and there's still 20 minutes to go.
Well, Horsham.
The cheers already ringing out for every single Horsham pass. As Barker to Philpott. Drops the shoulder, turns and goes. And he fancies this. Ajakai's in if he wants to play him. It's Ajakai in his left foot! Just past the post again. But the offside flag was up, it wouldn't have counted anyway.
The noise from the Horsham fans, it feels like there's double of them, really. Just 3,000 fans making such noise as we're about to have some substitutions for Hastings.
Well, Ajakai was actually onside when that ball was played through. A great little run from Philpott. He passed it through. Ajakai there on his left foot just dragged it wide. Of course, no VAR. As the Bungo's day is over. So Jenner comes on, as does Will Harley. And it's Mongoy who's going to be replaced. So a change up top and a change at the back for Hastings United.
Nancy Janner on loan from Tonbridge Angels. This could potentially be his last game for Hastings. We're speaking to Dom De Paula just before the game. Of course, he was saying how at this level you get players that will go and only stay for one season. And for a manager, it can be really tricky where you don't really know what team you could have come August. But as long as you keep a cohort of around 9 to 10 of the players, then you feel you can build on something. If Dom De Paula can keep this Horsham side and add little bits here and there, there's no reason Horsham can't find themselves claiming top spot next season. Of course, they've got Bishop Stortford, who ran away with the league last campaign, to come down and ply their trade in the league next season. But Horsham, for me, look like a very serious outfit for the next campaign.
It's a bold statement, Ollie, but I like it. You heard it here first. The Sussex Transport County Cup final. Horsham will be pushing for the title next season in the Isthmian Premier Division. But right now they've got the small matter of a cup final to win. As Rodari looks to try and spearhead a Hastings United comeback. Hammonds does well. Rodari goes straight through the back of him. I don't think the pitch helped. He did kind of lose his footing at the same time, but he will not escape the yellow cards.
Plenty of hefty challenges going in, Dean, especially as legs get tired.
That's the fourth Hastings United player to go into the referee's notebook. And yeah, when you look at it like he did follow through with that back foot. It's a poor challenge really from Rodari. And with 17 minutes to go here at the Amex, Hastings United 0, Horsham 3. The perfect 3 from their 9, 10, 11. Fenlon Ajakai and Reece Miles Meekums. Hammonds finds Rodriguez. He couldn't beat his man and instantly wants to get the ball back. Lee Harding has to put the ball out of play. Afua gets the cross in, there's a free header! Over the top, the best opportunity.
Well, that could have changed things, Dean. Unable to just steer that and keep it down low.
It's Tommy Fagg, who found himself with the freedom of the Horsham penalty area 6 yards out. Ball maybe just a bit too high for him. He couldn't get over it. And that was a let-off for Lewis Carey in the Horsham goal. Ajakai. Hammond's carried on his run. Fenlon, is he going to find Hammond? Hammond's got Miles Meekums if he wants to use him. Instead he goes towards Fenlon. Fenlon, good defending, but it almost turns into one of those comical of own goals.
Oh my word, it felt like they were going to get a fourth Horsham. A lovely ball poked in behind. And then I think it was the clearance that fell back to Fenlon to give them a second opportunity. But this is what Horsham have been so effective at all evening. Brilliant defending from JJ Walker, sliding low, and then, my word, could have just ricocheted back into Charlie Granger's net. But that's what they've been so good at, Horsham, breaking the lines, getting in behind, playing those first touch passes, those diagonal balls.
Jack Mazzone there getting ready to come on as Hammond takes this corner. It's curled in underneath the goalkeeper, headed away. And Hastings United should be able to clear it.
More trouble waiting in the wings for Hastings to think about. Jack Mazzone.
He certainly knows where the back of the net is as well. Tip ball, and there's plenty of space for Ajakai. Fenlon now darting towards the front post. That's where the ball's delivered, and it's headed away. Walker again. He's feeling the effects of that as well. It's a strong header from the Hastings United number 12. So we're into the final 15 minutes here at the Amex Stadium. The Sussex Transport Senior Cup final, where Horsham lead by 3 goals to 0. Their 20th cup game of the season, of what has been a fantastic season. And it's going their way. It's going to be their night, barring a shocker or a miracle. And here comes Ajakai, looking for a fourth. Ajakai, is he going to go in alone? He's got Miles Meekums to the back post, and it's turned away. Good defending, good following in. It's Freddie Legg back there doing the defending.
Looked like it was just behind Miles Meekums there, which allowed the Hastings defender to get there first.
There's a free kick for a push in the back of Afua. And Ajakai, once again, driving into the area. The right ball, the right place, but Freddie Legg was there.
It's going to be the end of the action for Shamir Fenlon, of course, the man that made it 2-0 in the first half, coming off for Jack Mazzone, who'll play the last 11 minutes of the game for Don De Paula's side. Good game Shamir Fenlon's had, of course, getting on the score sheet. Play some cute bits of football as well around the penalty area, linking up nicely with his teammates to carve open the Hastings defence. And now on comes Jack Mazzone. 3 goals in this competition this season. The tall frame coming on, which may do Horsham some good, as he certainly provides an aerial threat alongside Daniel Ajakai.
As we said, it doesn't look like Fenlon was too happy to be taken off there, but there was smiles when we returned to see him giving high fives on the bench. Score of Horsham's 2nd goal this evening. Lovely bit of skill from Rodriguez and equally good defending. Ball played forwards, and once again it's Afua looking to get into the area. And once again he gets to the byline, and this time he cuts a good ball back. It's cleared away by Hammond before Radari could get his foot onto the ball.
Brilliant burst of pace there from Afua. Sprinting in behind. Just once again tries to pull it back, but the Horsham defence too organised.
Jenner shows his strength and then rides another challenge. There's too many Horsham players back there as Ajakai is on his bike once more. Miles Meekums busting a gut to get up with him. That's a really good tackle. It's the skipper getting back defending as Legg looks to lead another Hastings United breakaway.
JJ Walker just allowed Ajakai time down that right-hand side, but then slid in so well to win the ball back. Excellent work, albeit he's been in the defence that's conceded 3 goals. He's certainly been a shining light in this Hastings side this evening. One for the future and one that I'm sure Charlie Agutta would love to have at his disposal come August.
Spag with plenty of time on the halfway line. Switch the play over to that far side with Afua. He's beaten to it by Harding.
Hastings frustrated. You can see some fans now leaving to get that eastbound train along the coast. Zone winning the ball in the air.
Once again, Ajakai's in behind. And this time, Sam Gale doing the defending. Jana, tight on the touchline. Was he having his shirt pulled? Yes, he was.
Rodriguez, such a tricky player. Haven't really seen as much of him in this second half as we did the first. Maybe that's also because he is now on that far side, but certainly one of the Horsham standouts in that first 45. Managed to unlock the Hastings defence a couple of times.
Harding up to the feet of Ajakai. Didn't quite find Rodriguez. Game just petering out now as we're into the final 10 minutes at the Amex. The Sussex Transport Senior Cup final.
Charlie Agutta said before the game that it doesn't matter about the result this evening. He's still proud of his boys, proud of the team and where they've come from where he took over. He said anything else is just a bonus, which I suppose took the pressure off this Hastings side, but they just come up against an extremely well-drilled Horsham side that haven't give Hastings a sniff really at Lewis Carey's goal. They've had a couple of set pieces here and there, but that's about it.
Another change from De Paula, and it's the score of the third goal. Daniel Ajakai, who will make way. Charlie Hastings will come on in his place for the remaining 7 minutes or so. Ajakai full of running, and he got his reward with that third goal that really did seal this game.
Well, Charlie Hastings coming on. He's in fact Horsham's top goal scorer in this competition this season with 4 goals. In fact, scored a hat-trick en route to the final. So they bring on more firepower that they found in this competition this season to try and add to this 3-goal lead.
They'll put in no rush to take this throw in. So a fresh looking front line for Horsham. Just what that tiring Hastings United defence want, and Jana's frustrated. Free kick given against him.
Very frustrated there, Jana. Emotions running high, frustrations too.
Hammond once again spots the run of Miles Meekins and delivers an inch perfect ball. Miles Meekins, all he could do was backheel. There was no one in a amber and green coloured shirt to get the ball back.
Probably hoping for a corner there. Just thought if I backheel it, the best thing that could happen is it ricochets off a white shirt.
Fua just losing track of the ball. More and more of those Hastings United fans are making their way out. So we just had the official attendance, 4,869 fans packed into the Amex Stadium for this Sussex Transport Senior Cup final. Great support from both sides, and they've been entertained by really what you could only describe as a Horsham masterclass.
Absolutely, but Charlie Augusta will be looking forward to the new season, hoping that he gets players in and keeps the players that he wants to push on. He was saying to me before the game that he felt that if he was there with Hastings from the beginning that they could have finished in the top 3, and he'll be hoping to have that outcome next season should he have a squad he wants.
That's always the tricky jigsaw puzzle at this level of football, getting those loan players in from clubs in higher divisions and keeping them or replacing them with the equal quality as Horsham are going to replace another couple of players. Bobby Price will be coming on for Lucas Rodriguez.
What a game he's had. I've talked about it a lot, but Lucas Rodriguez, just as he goes off the pitch, props to him.
And Doug Tuck has also been replaced.
As they come on to enjoy the last 4 minutes of this game, soak in the atmosphere on that left-hand side of the West Stand in front of us.
Bobby Price will get a few minutes of football on this luscious Amex turf, where his side, in about 10 minutes' time, will get their hands on the Sussex Transport Senior Cup.
Horsham's focus now, keep that clean sheet. Don't let them score.
Tuck getting involved. It's Hammond.
And formidable in that central midfield role. James Hammond, you can be a goal threat, of course, but been so calm on the ball. And this is just where Horsham are brilliant. Well drilled, know exactly where the other player is. Can allow them to play this cute, precise level of football that we're witnessing here. Can they get a fourth as the substitute?
Esther Cook
comes forward.
Doug Tuck involved, lots of give and goes in that move. Once again, Strange comes across to alleviate any danger. Will Harley, since he's come on, hasn't really been able to get involved in the game, as we see the expectant Horsham fans. They'll be partying along into the night, as will these players.
Not the most ideal night of all of them. Wednesdays, maybe have to
be some sore heads at work in the morning.
Of course, still 2 days to go till the weekend, but they won't care, Horsham. And even end up going back to Horsham. Nice place.
It's a goal kick, the ball had crossed the byline.
Lewis Carey, goal kick.
Into the final 2 minutes, the Sussex Transport Senior Cup final. Hastings United 0, Horsham 3. Esther Cook back to Miles Meekums. Horsham maybe wanted to play keep ball. Hammonds to Strange. Long ball over the top from Harding, and there's a chance for Mazzone. He just misread the flight of the ball, just got away from him, but now you can see over in that far corner where the ball is, the Lardy Army are enjoying themselves, bouncing up and down. Jana. Long ball over the top from him. Hastings United not giving up the ghost just yet. Afua takes on Harding, gets into the area. Afua lays the ball back. Strike just dragged wide. It was Tommy Fagg.
That was really well worked from Hastings. It looked like Ansu Jana's ball was just going to creep out too much through Afua, but he did so well to keep it in. It was a brilliant ball, to be fair, from the substitute. And then he brings it into a dangerous area, and that's a poor finish. No real power on that either.
Just snatched at it. Tried to take it too early.
Tried to just pass it in to Lewis Carey's bottom right corner.
It's 5 additional minutes to be played. The Hastings United players, they would want to be saying, put us out of our misery. They've got 5 more minutes to endure as Radari comes deep to try and get involved in this game. He had that one moment in the first half, which led to the free kick that he blazed over the bar. But otherwise, it's been a pretty quiet game from the Hastings United top goal scorer.
It hasn't helped that Horsham's defence have been on their A game this evening, but you would have expected a bit more from danger man Davide Radari. Hasn't really had the service from the wings. His leg just tries to curl a ball in, but it's easily dealt with by Horsham. You're hearing the Horsham fans singing, "Champions of Sussex, we know what we are." They're enjoying this moment. What a way to end a season of such emotions. Just a week ago was the heartbreaking penalty shootout at Chatham, but now they're joyous here at the Amex in Brighton. 4 minutes left.
They cuts the ball back, Gale works his way into the area. He'll have to settle for a corner. Once again, Philpott putting the challenge in. He hasn't put a foot wrong, really, since he's come on. Hastings United started the game with a succession of corners. Going to end the game with a corner delivered towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and once again, Horsham deal with it relatively easily.
Just as they did at the beginning of the first half.
Fua to Jana. Fua carried on his run, but Jana couldn't find him. Jana goes in strong again.
Horsham getting ready to celebrate. We have just under 3 minutes left. Hastings just wanting to see out this game, limit the damage.
Still plenty of Hastings United fans have stayed. Some have left early to try and catch maybe an earlier train. But lots will stay to applaud their team's efforts here this evening. And it was always an uphill task when this man on the ball opened the scoring after just 6 minutes. As Hammond finds Harding.
They're just such a tough unit to break down, Horsham. When you've got Hammond in the middle of the park, you've then got Harding, Lee Harding on that right-hand side. Isaac Philpott has been brilliant after he came on after the half-hour mark for Harvey Sparks. So they've got solidity on the flanks, solidity in the middle of their formation, and that's why they're 3-0 winners so far.
Miles Meekham speeds up the loose ball. The Horsham fancy a fourth here. Floats one up, Mazzone just cushions the ball down. Tuck didn't quite fall for him. And it is curled, or attempted to be crossed in from Miles Meekham, who then goes down.
So I knew exactly what he was doing there, just shielding off the player, hoping that Charlie Hester-Cook was going to run in and have a shot at goal. But will Hammond fancy his chances now?
He was urged to shoot by the crowd, and he's carried on his run. Almost found by Tuck. Lovely little improvised back heel from him, but didn't quite come off as the showboating has begun in earnest here as we're into the 4th of 5 additional minutes at the Amex. Fua still going. Fua, can he help get a consolation here for Hastings United? No, he can't. And then the effort from Adams, high into the north stands, and that about sums up Hastings United's evening.
If you want to see a clip that shows how the evening's gone for Hastings, that is it. One of their best players of the evening has been John Ufoa, one of their most lively players. He's found room on that left-hand side, always looked promising, brings the ball in field, but the players to his right have never been able to finish off the work that he's done down the flanks.
The Horsham fans now up on their feet. They know it's just a matter of seconds before referee Daniel Durso puts his lips on that whistle to blow for full time, where Horsham will be officially Sussex Transport Senior Cup winners.
It stays in West Sussex if you're going to make sides in this competition. From Worthing to Horsham, it'll stay on the west side of Sussex.
Jenna's certainly not enjoying his evening. He's cutting a really frustrated figure, and a yellow card is shown there for Charlie Hester-Cook for stopping the quick taking of that free kick. A bit unnecessary with, well, surely only a couple of seconds remaining. We're now into the 6th additional minute, and there is the final whistle, and Horsham have won the Sussex Transport Senior Cup final. They've beaten Hastings United by 3-0. They had the perfect start after just 6 minutes. As a couple of fans try and make their way onto the pitch, they've mostly been stopped. But it's the Horsham players who are celebrating. The Hastings United players are down, dead on their feet. Still handshakes and camaraderie after the game that in truth was Horsham's from start to finish. Hastings United showed some fight back in the second half, but they never really had that true moment of quality when it counted. Horsham looked like they could pick them off at any given time. Hastings United often the makers of their own downfall.
They just came up short. Hastings, Horsham superior on the day. Miles Meekham's opening the scoring. As you can just see, the zone consoling Sam Gale. So the stage being set up for Horsham to lift the trophy. Hastings to my right, down on the floor, gutted faces and body gestures that see them. Clap the Hastings fans that have made that way down the east coast. And the Horsham players going over in front of that crowd filled with jubilation. Complete opposites right in front of me. One stand full of fans clapping on players filled with despair. The other stand filled with joyous fans and players celebrating this moment, celebrating this achievement, celebrating this season. Not only have Horsham gained coverage and champions status of Sussex, they gained national accreditation this season after their run in the FA Cup, which is celebrated from all of those who love non-league. It's the joys of the cup, but the attention turns to the Sussex Transport Senior Cup. And the winners this year is the side from West Sussex, Horsham Football Club, coached by Dom De Paula. After despair last Wednesday, we said it was even going to be a travesty if they didn't win. Well, that travesty has not happened. There's Lewis Carey, who was only forced to make one real save. That came in the second half. It was a header at the back post. The ball was played down that left-hand side for Hastings, lofted to that back post, headed at Carey's goal, but he palmed it away. The only time he was really called to make a save. Apart from that, of course, we saw the ball at his feet on plenty of occasions. But there they are, all the Horsham fans still in their seats,
waiting for this trophy lift. There is the mascot, the Hornet of Horsham, celebrating and taking it in. Lee Harding, please can I have your shirt? What a sign that is from those fans there, hoping that they get their magnificent right back shirt at the end of the evening to cap off some celebrations. Another one there, Ajikai, what a trend this is. Sifting its way down to non-league. Albeit the shirts do change on a regular basis. They won't care. A memento for those fans is what they would like after a brilliant evening at the American Express Stadium, where Horsham have come away as 3-0 winners, 2 goals scored in the first half. Reece Miles-Malcolms and the ex-Seagull, Shamir Fenelon, nodded it home to make it 2 after Daniel Ajikai sealed the win for Horsham and made it 3. Players walking over the Sussex trophy that they're about to lift, glaring down at them. As for Hastings, they look at it in despair and think what could have been, but props to Horsham. They were the deserved winners of the evening, no one can doubt that. Hastings certainly showed some fight. Chris Agutta being called to come up to take his medal. Obviously delighted with how his side have been since he's come into action for Hastings United. And the manager who's won the competition, Dom De Paula, humbly walking over to collect the accolade. So Hastings United coming up, of course, it's all presented by the County FA Chair and FA representative, Tara Wynne. Players walk over with their disappointed faces and expressions. They gave it their all, and it just wasn't enough against this near perfect Horsham side, who will take some beating next season. Substitutes just collecting theirs as well. But here are the winners. The loud cheers from those who have made their way from Horsham. Hammond going over Lewis Carey, the third goal scorer Daniel Ajikai, the second goal scorer Shamir Fenelon, and the rest of the brigade, followed by Rodriguez. What a player he was. Mazzone, Phil Pott, who came on, Jack Brivio, the captain, and Danny Barker, Charlie Hester-Cook, shaking hands. There's Miles Meekums, who got the evening underway. The centre-half Jack Strange, followed by Jack Brivio, the captain, to lift the trophy. Their fifth game, the final. The winners of the Sussex Transport Challenge Senior Cup is the side from West Sussex. Those in yellow and green lift the trophy of Sussex as they are the champions, Horsham FC. Jubilation here at the Amex. What a moment for them. They'll treasure this moment for the rest of their lives. Thanks to Brighton Hove Albion with the 13th final hosted here at the Amex. As the champagne flows, the celebrations will continue long into the night for those in Horsham colours. So, of course, that is the end of the game, the end of the celebrations. My colleague Dean Kilford is down pitch side to talk to some people who are soaking up this post-match atmosphere, as the Horsham players will go over and celebrate with their fans and continue those celebrations with the trophy this time.
The season really well, to be fair. I mean, we missed out on the playoffs, getting to the final and stuff like that. But today just proved that we're capable of going on and doing most things, really.
Absolutely. We're saying on commentary that potentially could be favourites for the title next season. Is that the ambition? Regroup, go again?
100%. If we keep the grip as it is, add a few, then I don't know why we can't win it.
Brilliant stuff. We'll go and enjoy it, go and celebrate. Thanks very much. We're going to go and try and catch as many players as we can here. Let's go and catch up with the score of that second goal. Congratulations, scoring the second goal. Probably the furthest goal you've scored from it, about
It was a little tap in. I don't mind them. It's been a while since I got a tap in, so yeah, it was nice.
What a season. What did it mean to you to score here and help your team win the trophy?
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, this is what it's about, so it's nice. This is what it's about after a long season, yeah.
And you can see what it means to all of your supporters here. It's been a long, hard season. Where do you place this moment in many high moments you've had this season?
I think it's probably the best since I've been at Horsham. The FA Cup was nice, but to actually win something, it's nice. Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. Go and enjoy, go and celebrate. OK, let's go. Ajikai, scorer of that third goal. Gonna grab a quick word for you. Congratulations. You got your goal. It didn't feel like maybe it was going to come at certain stages, but you took it well when it did come.
Yeah, obviously Sham's obviously my striking partner. He's obviously got the ball. I've seen that he's gone inside, so I've made a run outside. I was hoping he was going to slip me, and he did. I just had to compose myself, and obviously I'm thankful to score.
You didn't stop running. You're like the Duracell bunny out there running into the channel.
I try, that's all I do. I keep running and running and just run myself to the ground. Obviously, it was disappointing for us to lose last week in the playoffs, but we're just happy to win this trophy.
Indeed. We'll go and celebrate, go and enjoy the rest of the evening. Congratulations, brilliant stuff. OK, we've got two of the goal scorers. Let's see if we can get the score of that first goal. Miles Meekins. I'll see if I can spot him here. I can. Just over here, Reece, just grab a quick word with you quickly. The man that opened the score in 6 minutes is all it took. Had a hand in the second goal as well. Excellent touchdown there to keep the ball in play. What does this trophy mean to you?
It feels good to win it for the third time. But yeah, it feels good,
And the goal, just talk us through that goal for us, as you're getting a bit of grief from behind the camera here.
Just seen the far post open, so I just thought open the foot out. Thierry Henry just slide in the back post.
Thierry Henry. Love that. All right, we'll go and celebrate with the rest of the team. Congratulations. All three goal scorers we've got there. John, I'll just grab a quick word with John Meany. We spoke to him before the game. And what does this mean to you? You said that you set out, you played cool, calm, composed football, and that's exactly what your team did.
Full credit to the lads. For me, they've got their just rewards after playing 62 games this season. It's nice to sort of end the season with a trophy and a perfect performance. 3 goals, a clean sheet, strong mentality, and we got our just rewards.
Indeed. And from the sort of setup of the game, it couldn't have gone better planned. You let Hastings have the ball for the first couple of minutes, first attack, first goal, and then you can just play the way that you want to play.
Yeah, there's different ways to play the game. We have our principles. Ideally, we want to control the game on the ball, but if the opposition have the ball, we want to control where they have the ball, set up traps, win the ball back, and go from there. And the boys nailed it to a T.
Indeed. And where do you put this victory, this trophy, in the list of accolades for all of the achievements that Horsham have achieved this season?
It's right up there. At the end of the day, we can talk about all the journey that we've been on. We want to play winning football. Today we've won a game, we've won a final, we get a trophy. So for all the FA Cup journey, wanted to get promoted in the playoffs. It didn't quite happen. We responded tonight, and at the end of the day, football's about winning games of football, and that's what we've done, and we've managed to get a trophy.
And lastly, what does this mean for next season? Can this spur you on a title charge? Could that be on the cards?
Look, we're enjoyed tonight. I think what the lads have shown this season is there's a foundation there. There's a foundation to go and get success. So everyone's just got to stick together. There's going to be talks behind the scenes moving forward, but the foundations are in place. It's up to the club now and the players and the staff to go and embrace it over the summer and go from there.
Great stuff. Thanks very much, John Gann. Enjoy the evening. Take care, buddy. All right. So let's go and try and get a quick word with the manager. He's just getting papped by the press at the moment. Let him enjoy his moment. Oh, OK. Well, just because we're live, Tom, what an evening. The perfect start, control from start to finish.
Yeah, I thought we were excellent, really, really good. Game plan was good. We deserved that, do you know what I mean? The other night, the playoff game is sort of eats you up a little bit because I think we deserved more that night, and I think the boys just had the bit between their teeth. They're an experienced group, and I think like they knew that it was kind of going to rescue our season, because as much as we've had a great season, we could have come away with nothing from such a great season, really. So I thought they were magnificent. 1-16, absolutely brilliant. Massive shout out to John, Jim, Stu, Sammy, Katie, Daz. Worked really hard this season. It's been a long, arduous one, and it's been amazing, really, to finish on such a high.
And what does this mean for next season? Do you use this as a platform to build off of and go again?
Well, I said if I ever won this one, I'd retire, so who knows? No, I mean, I've come from so far down the pyramid. I started at step 8, and this was one that you just kind of always thought was a bit out of reach. So I don't know, really. I mean, we need to sort of sit down as a club and work out what we're going to do next season. But it's amazing to finish on such a positive, unbelievable support tonight here, and you know, Hastings as well, great support. It was a perfect night for us.
Indeed, and looking at all the supporters, nearly 5,000 packed in here, it just shows what football at this level means to so many people.
Yeah, and I think it's only getting better. More and more people are interested in non-league, and we've got since I've been here, it's grown massively from a support point of view, and it's fantastic to see all the kids here and stuff. I love that part of it, and it's what makes it a bit special at Horsham. So yeah, it's been a great night. Some brilliant memories for the players, some brilliant memories for the supporters, and it's another thing ticked off at the club that we've been able to do. So I'm absolutely buzzing.
And finally, one last word for the Lardy Army. Any message for them?
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable this season. They've been magnificent end to end from the first game to the 62nd game. They've been amazing. They've been with us. They've dragged people along. They've encouraged us constantly, and it just shows the positivity when it's around everyone. You do great things.
Great stuff. Thanks, all. Congratulations. Enjoy your night. Take care, buddy. Thanks very much. On where? Oh, perfect stuff. Let's get back with Ollie. Ollie, so what an evening we've had here. Sussex Transport Senior Cup final. Horsham won by 3-0. You can see we've spoken with all the players. How are the fans taking to them?
Oh, they're absolutely loving it. What I find really sweet as well, you've got all the little fans as well right at the front, all asking for signatures, asking for bands of what the players have worn, asking for their items of clothing. It's excellent, really, and it just shows how connected they are. You've got Lewis Carey as well, right here, just coming up, taking selfies with the fans. So maybe we could go up to him and ask him for his views. Of course, you're just seeing him right here, soaking up the atmosphere. Lewis, would you mind just chatting to the TV? Here he is, Lewis Carey, the goalkeeper of the winning side. Lewis, first of all, how did you make that game in between the sticks, watching everything go on in front of you?
Yeah, personally, I didn't have a lot to do, which was nice. We took our chances, which has been a bit of a downfall this season. We've got in some great areas, but we haven't put them away, and then going 1-0 up so early on, it kind of everyone's nerves, allowed us to play our game. We kind of sort of dictated, the whole cup final, and it was, a pretty great night, 3-0.
A deserved end to the season. What was the mood like at half-time? Of course, you go in 2-0 up. Was there an element of nerves or pure confidence?
I think it was, we don't want to let off because, 2-0 was a tricky scoreline, especially at half-time. You can see the next goal and it's a different game. But we come out, we hit the post early, we had a few chances, and we kind of just stayed on the front foot and pushed on for that third. And once it went in, it was kind of like, you could sort of relax then. It was kind of game was half won there. So yeah, it was a perfect final from start to finish.
Well, I'm glad it's a perfect final for you, Lewis. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy your evening and have a great summer. Thank you very much, Lewis Carey there.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you, Ollie. We've been your commentators leading you through the evening. Ollie Aldis here. I'm Dean Kilford. All the footage brought to you by your instant replay. What an evening. What an event here at the Amex Stadium. The Sussex Transport Senior Cup final. Hastings United 0, Horsham 3. What an evening for these supporters celebrating. We hope to see you again next year. Thank you very much for watching.
you.